for high school football in 2023 is right here at Beaver County Radio.
10-5 touchdown! You better believe it!
Coverage of 2023 high school football is being brought to you by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, A.K. Nahas Furniture Gallery, Tri-County McDonald's, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. Now let's head to the A.K. Nahas Furniture Gallery broadcast booth for coverage of tonight's game.
The Bulldogs, led by first-year head coach Ron Balog, travel to third-year head coach Sherman McBride, 0-1 Bridgers from Ambridge in a Week 1 conference matchup. Friday, Freedom's offense started off pretty slow against the Quaker Valley Quakers last week, putting up just 6 points by the half, but their offense came to life in the third quarter, led by standout receiver Cody Patterson, quarterback Ty Schulteis, and running back Tyler Welsh. Freedom then scored 19 points in the second half and went on to win 25-7. Now for Ambridge, they were no match for the Highlands Golden Rams, who rolled to a 45-8 victory. The bright spots for Ambridge, Grant Odovich and Carlito Chandler, who led them to their lone score of the game. Can Freedom start their season 2-0? Can Ambridge bounce back, get to 500, and keep from starting their season at 0-2? It's a battle between the 2A Midwestern Athletic Conference Bulldogs and the 4A Parkway Conference Bridgers. Freedom, Ambridge, the best of Beaver Valley football right here on Beaver County Radio. Welcome. I'm Mangino along with Bruce Fry. We'll check in with Micah Zadian on the sideline coming up in just a moment. And Bruce, this is a very interesting matchup, 2A, 4A, and considering a couple of key players that aren't going to be suiting up for Ambridge today, it looks as though this 2A team has a really good chance.
Well, we'll see how it goes. To me, the key aspect is whether Freedom's passing game can keep it up against the Bridgers. But you mentioned the tale of two halves for Freedom last week. It was the tale of two halves for Ambridge also. They were close with Highlands, but then they had some turnovers, and Highlands capitalized in them to a second-half blowout.
When it comes to Freedom, a new offense, it used to be just about run. Now they're willing to throw the ball around. In fact, 30 times last week. Schulteis 15 for 30 for 187, a running touchdown, a passing touchdown. They're willing to throw the ball now with Freedom.
Yeah, that's for sure. A year ago, Coach Rosa molded the offense into the wing T because he felt that was best suited for his grinded-out personality and for the team's makeup. But now they have switched to a much more air-oriented attack, at least in the first week.
And when it comes to trying to replace an amazing running back in Damian Grunigal, it looks as though they may have found their guy in Tyler Welsh. Could he be the answer? Last year it was 72 rushes for 423 yards, a season-high 13 for 137. But last week it was 31 for 203, averaging 6.5 yards a carry, and good enough for fifth in all of the WPIAL.
Yeah, and again, Grunigal did do. He was adept at power football, which is, again, why Freedom continued to run that wing T.
Carlito Chandler on the other side of the ball in the running back position. He seems to be the guy. Can he do it and be enough when it comes to establishing that running game for Ambridge?
Oh, yeah, I would certainly think so. Ambridge has a pretty good-sized offensive line, certainly led by Dante Prentice at 6'3", 285. So they're banking on being able to run the football.
And when it comes to the quarterback position, A.J. Gerace is the guy who is going to be taking the snaps from center. And it looks as though the biggest reason why he's doing it is because he was the next guy in line.
Yeah, he was the next guy behind Ivory, the starter, a year ago. So it's a natural progression as Coach McBride moves into his third full year as the head coach here.
McBride getting the benefit of when he first got here, it was freshmen, really stacked, 24 different freshmen. Now they are juniors, and he's expecting more out of this group. Now that they're upperclassmen, he's ready for them to show the experience and the leadership for this squad to win games.
Yeah, that's for sure, but that's what it has to translate to results on the field. I'm sure Ambridge's message leading into this game is hang on to the football.
All right, let's go down on the field, and Mike Azadian is with Coach Sherman McBride right now. Mike?
Hey, guys, with Sherman McBride, Coach. Nice sunny day for your home opener.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day.
Who's this young man with you? What's your name, sir?
Josiah.
Are you like one of the assistant coaches? He's learning from the master here. Coach, a rough one last week. I know you guys hanging in there for a while, but things just kind of piled up on you. And even though it's your third year, you're still trying to get these kids to learn how to win. That's what you told me 2 years ago.
Yep, exactly. You heard about it. It was 13-8 at halftime, and one mistake led to another, and we faltered. Somehow grasp these guys and get them, like you said, teach them how to win.
Strength of your team still going to be on the line this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With Prentice and Sheffield, Blaze Kolar, that's our strength. And the good thing about it, there's only one senior on that line.
Yeah, I know you have to replace some skill players, but you still have some skill coming back. But is it easier to replace skill players or replace line players? Most coaches say you get a strong line, you can teach some skill players to run behind a good line.
Whoever made that statement is correctly right. Once you, as you can tell, if you got linemen, that's the only way you can go forward. You can't go forward with skill guys.
I talked to Tommy Campbell a little bit, and I talked to a couple of your players. I said something about, well, you're only a sophomore, you're only a freshman. You got this year and next year. And they all said, no, we got this year. So they're talking about winning this year.
That's right. That's the mentality. That's the mentality that I'm passing down to Coach Tommy and Coach Neal and Coach Mianic, and they're passing it along to the players.
Speaking of Coach Mianic, you've got him as your offensive coordinator, I believe, on the sidelines. I saw him. I was like, wait a minute. So talk to us about, you worked for him in the past. Now tables are turned a little bit. You're like his boss now.
Well, the table has turned. He was jokingly. He was like, well, now you telling me what to do. But, he said, well, you didn't listen to me anyway. But it's all in fun and games.
Well, Coach, I know you got to go. You got to talk to your team. Good luck, and we'll talk to you at halftime.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
All right, guys, from the sidelines, actually from where am I at here? On the Z or S on Bridgers. You've just heard it from Sherman McBride, and we'll talk to you guys periodically. As a reminder to the fans, we'll have both coaches at halftime, leaving halftime and coming back from halftime.
Mike, thank you very much. Do appreciate that. From the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth, it's the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show. More in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
You're listening to 2023 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and beavercountyradio.com.
Welcome back to the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show. I'm Mangino along with Bruce Fry, Mike Azadian on the sideline. We'll check back in with him coming up in just a few minutes. A few days ago, I had an opportunity to sit down with Coach Balog of the Freedom Bulldogs and talk to him about his first year here at Freedom and implementing a brand new offense. Here's my conversation with the coach.
A lot of passion about football, and the boys have been great since mid-March, which was when I was hired, and everybody has bent over backwards to help me since I got there, and that certainly includes former AD John Rosa.
The big talk this offseason is the new offense that you implemented. What can you tell us about it?
Well, previously in the past couple of years, Coach Rosa, the offense that they had been running had been a wing tee-based offense. I love, is near and dear to my heart. But the last few years of my evolution from an offensive standpoint has been more spread-based, more quick game-based, a mix between zone run and gap.
Will we see more of the ball in the air with your offense?
Yeah, we won't hesitate to throw it. We threw it 30 times on Friday night at Quaker Valley, and we're not afraid of doing that.
How difficult was it to find a way of replacing Damian Grunigal?
Ooh, that's a big question right there. Very hard. When you have a talent such as Damian from last year and the production that he put up, I think where you start is you say, what do we look like from a talent standpoint, from a production standpoint, and can we have a couple of guys, 3 guys that can replace that production? Obviously, if you had one guy that did it, that would be unbelievable. But I think that we kind of looking towards 3-4 guys.
Cody Patterson, you're quoted as saying that he's the straw that stirs the drink. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that he's a passionate young man. He bleeds Freedom football, and he is, he's a leader of our team. And so he attracts a lot of attention defensively. And so he's the straw that's going to stir the production that comes to other guys, if that makes sense.
It does. Is that attitude something you can coach, or is that just naturally in a player or not?
I think it's a little bit of both. It's much better in my mind if that player already has somewhat that line of thinking in his head, but you can certainly coach players up that way too.
You're also impressed with Dakota Roberts this year and Cooper Young. Can we expect a lot of running from the wide receiver position as well as downward throwing for them?
I think you'll see some out of those guys over the year from a running perspective. What's particularly attractive about both of those guys that you mentioned is they're both big bodies. Dakota is tall and long, and Cooper's a little thicker, but also has great height. And we think that lends itself to the quick game. But I think you could see those guys, carry the ball as well.
Yes. The offensive line, that's where it all gets started. It's about the protection for your quarterback. It's about establishing the line in order to get the running game going. And you have 3 returning starters in Jake Hilberry, JT Tatko, and Wyatt Boyer.
Yes, and you are 100% right. With all the great skill players that we do have on that offense, we don't go anywhere without the 5 in front of us. And so those 3 in particular that you mentioned, along with, the additions of Eli Cottrill and Wyatt Lewis and a freshman, Troy Gorjeski, those guys, they're a huge part of telling our tale whether we're going to be successful on offense.
What's it like as a 2A school to play a 4A school in Ambridge?
Ambridge had been 3A in the previous cycle and then just got bumped up to 4A. I think what you have to think about when you're playing a team that's of a bigger classification, most of the time your issue lies in depth. You may be just fine with the first-line players against their first-line players, but depth can become an issue, from a roster standpoint.
What do you like about where you are, and where do you see room for improvement as the season progresses?
What I like is in the first half against Quaker Valley, and Quaker Valley had a lot to do with this, we stumbled offensively. And then in the second half, we got a lot better. And so just how the boys have responded to picking up on the offensive system has been, in my mind, has been really great. And the fact of the matter is that we just need to keep perfecting that.
When you look at Ambridge and you've been able to check them out on film, what do you see with this team? What are the great challenges that the Bulldogs face in coming out victorious against the Bridgers tonight?
Big. They're big, and they're big at all spots. At least that's what it looks like on film. We've got some size to match up in some places, but in some places we won't have size. So I think what we have to do is our technique has got to be great. Our focus has got to be great. We've got a lot of team speed. We've got to use our team speed. But I was very impressed with their size, and I was also pretty impressed with their physicality.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Haladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden-Neuerl-Quippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle. Falcone's Moon Township Ford. They worker who win in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Attorney Larry Kelly.
At Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, we have a culture. And that culture is that we're not going to get out-lawyered. We're going to make sure that we know the law as well as anybody. You don't even have an idea what facts are important until you know the law. Once we identify the law, we know what facts will determine the outcome of this case, and then we go out and investigate those facts to make sure that we have a factual pattern that is supported by the law that could lead to a successful outcome for our clients.
For your initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
Choose your path at Community College of Beaver County and start learning for real life at a realistic cost. CCBC's 2-year degree programs get you trained and earning a salary in less time and with less debt. Programs in aviation, nursing, education, process technology, criminal justice, and more will prepare you for a real future. You belong here. Apply now or learn more at ccbc.edu.
If you have big plans for this fall, like a new car or home remodeling project, but feel like it's getting a little late in the game and you're out of timeouts, it's time to call an audible, a 749 audible. This is Coach Andy Dengel from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. 24-month personal loans are now available with approved credit from 7.49%. So get up to the line, the teller line that is, and call your own 749 audible. Stop in for details. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a great community. It's a great district.
It's the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show. We are broadcasting this evening from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth. And with me in studio, I'm Mangino, by the way. With me in the broadcast booth is our own Bruce Fry. And Bruce, in listening to the coach talk about what he thinks about his team and what he thinks about what's happening over at Ambridge, on the Ambridge side, he must have said big 4 or 5 times when he looks at that offense and that defensive line.
Well, yeah, we can see that when we look out the window. They certainly have enormous size. They are missing one of their bigger guys, Sheffield, but they certainly have enough size to go around.
Also, listening to that interview, what stood out to you of what he said regarding his team and preparation for tonight's game?
Well, he mentioned the fact that he's got to have leadership, and Schulteis is going to be his leader. So that we'll go with that, and we'll just see if he is able to take it from there. When you have a new coach, there's a whole new set of values, a whole new set of emotions, and we'll see how Freedom can ride that this season.
Let's look at some games around the rest of the Beaver Valley. There are a number of them in action. Aliquippa, that didn't play a Week 0 game, in fact, not even a scrimmage, they're opening up their season tonight, and they're taking on Armstrong. Any thoughts about that game?
Well, yeah, Armstrong's in trouble the way I see it. That was set up as an exhibition game a year ago. Aliquippa went to Armstrong. They had the gunslinger, Cade Olson, the leading passing in the WPIAL, who is now at the University of Pennsylvania. But they don't have Cade Olson this year. So I look for Aliquippa to win big in the first game at the Pit.
Beaver Falls, that we watched last week as they were playing Blackhawk. They are playing at Beaver area. Highlands is traveling to Blackhawk tonight. Central Valley, after a big win against Austintown in Ohio, comes back to Pennsylvania, and they are traveling to Avonworth. Cornell plays host to Menneson. Elwood City welcomes cross-county rival Union to the fold. They will be playing tonight. Hopewell is traveling to New Brighton. We will have New Brighton not only next week, but the week after as well.
Yes, and certainly a big part of that is the Brown Jug game with Beaver Falls. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, quite a bit on the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show.
That's coming up right after the game. Montour is heading to Moon. Quaker Valley, after their loss to Freedom last week, is hosting Mohawk. Southside is on the road to Riverside. West Allegheny visits South Fayette, and a game that we will have on Saturday. Saturday there'll be Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. They're playing in Moon, and they'll be taking on Rochester. But Shenango, tomorrow's game is Shenango and Western Beaver, with the kickoff set for 12:30. What are your thoughts about that game tomorrow?
Well, Western Beaver showed some ability to make plays in their loss to Beaver on Beaver County Radio a week ago. Shenango was pulverized by Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. I look for the Golden Beavers to get on the win column tomorrow at Industry.
And you are listening to the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show, and we are here at Ambridge getting ready for the kickoff in about 12 to 13 minutes from now as they play host to Freedom. More in just minutes right here on Beaver County Radio.
A Beaver County high school football season is here. Players protect that beautiful smile with a visit to your hometown dentist, Dr. Peter Montini and his team at St. Barnabas Dental. While tackling tooth decay is number one in the game plan, Dr. Montini offers a wide array of services, including custom-fitted athletic mouthguards, clear aligner orthodontics, virtually painless injections, and same-day crowns. Call or text 724-495-3350 to schedule your appointment today. St. Barnabas Dental in Beaver, creating beautiful smiles for life.
At Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com.
Are you a believer?
Yes, I am a believer.
I am absolutely a believer.
I am a believer.
I'm a believer.
I'm a Baba Beaver believer.
I'm a believer. Let's go.
Hurry in for the Labor Day sales event. Get 10% off MSRP on all new in-stock Compass, Cherokee, and Renegade models. Plus, get a new Grand Cherokee 4XE for just $469 a month. And as always, get guaranteed credit approval.
For the best deals and service, you know where to go. Become a believer at Beaver County Auto.
And welcome back to the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show. Coming up after the game, you will be able to have the Falcone Moon Township Ford wrap-up show, and before that, the Electric Garage Doors postgame show. Throughout the course of the game, we'll be checking in with the Fry Transportation Update Desk. And one of the things we'll be looking for during the course of this game, Bruce, is naming our CCBC players of the game. Let's start with the Freedom side. Who are the top three players that you're looking at for tonight?
We'll see. I think that three of their track captains, Welsh, Patterson, and Schulteis, will be the biggest candidates among anybody. Certainly they're going to have their hands on the football. They'll have their opportunities to shine. Although we found out last week in the game at Beaver Falls that it's not difficult to name a lineman as a player of the game, as Samari McCoy of Beaver Falls picked up that honor by a unanimous vote. So anything's possible.
Yeah, he was absolutely dominant in last weekend's win against Blackhawk. Cody Patterson, not only will he touch the ball a lot on offense, last week against the Quakers, he touched the ball a lot on defense. 3 interceptions, add that to 6 tackles. he was playing for player of the game honors on both sides of the ball.
Well, yeah, no question about it. So he's a reliable performer for the Bulldogs. I think he would be right in the mix tonight, that's for sure.
And then on the Ambridge side, a couple of players to look there. And I'm thinking Grant Vodich is at the top of that list.
Yeah, he's up there. And again, Dante Prentice, to my way of thinking, he should start to become a dominant player this year. He is the young man that
We are just minutes away from kickoff, Freedom and Ambridge. Let's go down to the sideline and the third member of our broadcast team, Mike Azadian, as we're talking about the CCBC players of the game. Who are standouts that you'll be watching for?
Quite a bit for both ice. Those are the Ambridge. They didn't play so well last week on offense, so we're going to have to see. Without Adam Fernandez, it could be anybody. But, talking to Tommy Campbell, coach for Ambridge, he told me we have the athletes that can stay with anybody. So you never know on that team. It's kind of a toss-up. We'll see who has a good game. But one thing to keep in mind, Ambridge went to Freedom last year and beat them in a close game. Freedom coming back toward the end, didn't have enough to win. And Freedom would love to come in here tonight and beat Ambridge on their home opener.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was actually looking at some news stories and looking at what the Beaver County Times sports writers said, Bruce, that a number of them are looking at Freedom being able to pull the classification upset, if you will, and for a 2A school to beat a 4A school tonight.
Oh, yeah, anything can happen in this game. And as Mike mentioned, Ambridge did hold off Freedom last year. Freedom scored late, tried the onside. I believe it didn't work, and I think it was 16-14. But these schools are closely matched, and certainly Freedom would not get off the bus if they didn't think they could win the game, and we'll see how it plays out in a matter of moments on Beaver County Radio.
Let's talk about the coaching staff, not the head coaches, but the support staff that Coach McBride has over at Ambridge, with Coach Z joining him as an Aliquippa former head coach. What do you think that dynamic brings to a program like this?
It just is. It's an extra set of eyes. I mean, they also have got former Ambridge head coach Neil Katz, whose son's right in the line. So, and again, condolences to Neil on the passing of his wife earlier this summer. We at Beaver County Radio wish him the best, and he even was saying today that football is a way of taking that disappointment off of his mind. But we wish Neil the best. He's one of the patron saints of the Penn Ohio game, and his work in Beaver County is certainly a treasure.
You are listening once again to the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth. We'll come back with more in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
Al's Corner is not just for gas. Well, you are right. They offer gas, of course, but also fresh food and snacks every day. Let them do the cooking. They make fresh subs on their homemade bread daily. They offer hot foods like Taco Tuesday, Fish on Friday, plus wraps, salads, to mention a few. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make a visit to Al's Corner in Koppel. Planning a graduation party? Call Al's today to place your order. May your party be the envy of your family and friends. Follow them on Facebook for their daily specials. That's Al's Corner on the corner off Route 18 and 351 in Koppel.
For all your home appliance and furnishings, shop AK Nahas on Labor Day. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., get big savings throughout our showroom. Sleep better on a dual-sided queen mattress and firmer plush for only $650. Get an 18-cubic-foot refrigerator for $629. Conquer pet hair like a pro with Maytag Pet Pro washer or dryer, removing 5 times more pet hair, just $7.99 each. Take an extra 15% off all furniture. No one sells less on Labor Day. Open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. AK Nahas Appliance, Furniture, Mattress, and TV. You'll do okay with AK.
At MRS Physical Therapy, they understand that you expect to receive treatment that will help you move better, feel better, and recover faster and more completely from an injury or operation. But did you know that you can make an appointment to come see MRS Physical Therapy without a doctor's referral? And they can offer same-day appointments. You can come see them whenever you want and come back as many times as you wish for 30 days. There's no need to wait until you see a primary care physician. Get treatment when you need it most at MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
Now that the sights and sounds of summer are fading in your rearview mirror, there's still time to enjoy your classic car and turn heads this fall. Restore your cherished ride to its former glory and call Gnu's Bodyworks in Freedom. Gary Snare has been offering collision and restoration services for over 20 years. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod or street custom to full custom color paint, Gnu's also handles collision and general repairs. Say hello to cooler weather with the hottest car around. Call Gnu's Bodyworks, 408th Street in Freedom.
The local McDonald's restaurants are proud to be partners with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring Beaver County high school football games all season long. Stop in to any of the local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burritos, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Text McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
And we are back. I'm Robert Mangino along with Bruce Fye in the booth, and we are about to get set for this non-conference matchup between the Freedom Bulldogs and the Ambridge Bridgers. It is absolutely a gorgeous night for football. There is barely a cloud in the sky. Bruce, I can't find one, and it's going to make for some very interesting vision over the course of the next half hour or so as we are facing due west toward the Ohio River, and that sun, as it is setting, is coming right in our eyes and causing a wonderful, beautiful reflection.
Yeah,
right off the glass.
It'll take about 20 minutes for that to pass. I'm hoping the lights come on here at Mo Rubenstein, but it's the situation is Freedom won the toss. They elected to take the football. So the Ambridge Bridgers, Braden Rees, will kick things off for the Bridgers, wearing jersey number 14.
And the way it's set up right now is Freedom is in all white with red letters. Ambridge is in their garnet and gray, garnet jerseys and gray numerals. And they are set up to your right. Freedom is to the left. They're in a kickoff formation, 2 deep to receive the kickoff. Cody Patterson and Tyler Welsh, it looks as though they are both deep. Cody Patterson and Tyler. And once again, Braden Reeves is sent for the kickoff. He is waiting for the signal from the official, and the official is about to get them underway here at Ambridge. An absolutely wonderful night for football. Here he goes, right-footed cooker, and into the ball, and it goes deep all the way back to the 10-yard line. And Tyler Welsh is returning it up the left-hand side. He's breaking a tackle. He got himself a crease over on the left-hand side. He's all the way beyond the 50-yard line. What a wonderful return for that kickoff.
Yes, he looked initially to the middle, but with good peripheral vision, noticed that there was an opening to his left, shot around that left side, and was just driven out of bounds on the far side by Ambridge. So that it's an easy picture for us to paint on the radio, is that the nose of the football is on the 50-yard line.
Just on the 50, and they are set up in the shotgun formation. And Tyler Schulteis is in the shotgun with Welsh over to the right-hand side. Toss out to the flat. And what an amazing tackle. My goodness. Number 26, Xavier Lewis, coming from his linebacker position to knock down Tyler Welsh.
Yeah, and again, I credit Lewis because he came across the field. He's an inside linebacker, I'm pretty sure, but he showed good lateral movement to veer to his left and make the stop.
Just a 2-yard pickup. It is 2nd and 8 from Ambridge 48. Once again, Tyler and the pistol, handoff up the middle. Not a whole lot going on there. Maybe a couple of inches. Look as though the referees are just giving him maybe a yard, and that's about it.
Yeah, there was not much progression there. And again, we've talked about it before. Ambridge is a difficult team to run against because of their size to the inside. And we'll call out some of those. But Prentice is the left defensive tackle. We can see him down there wearing jersey 68. He's a tough guy to push around.
Once again, Schulteis is in the pistol. Quick slant over the middle, and it looks as though it could be intercepted, and they're saying, yes, it was intercepted. The cornerback jumped the slant route and was able to pick that off.
Uvodich was in perfect position. You talked about him as maybe a potential player of the game for Ambridge. He's one of Ambridge's quad captains. He made a diving. He anticipated the route, dove for it, and made the pick.
That's why he is the Beaver County Times number 22 player of the year going into the season. Now Ambridge is set up in a traditional pro setup I formation, and now we have a flag. Looks as though illegal movement by Ambridge is the early call from the umpire, and they move the ball back 5 yards, so now it's 1st and 15 from their own 35-yard line. It is on the near hash. And Ambridge coming right back out of the huddle. They're ready to go with this again. Same formation, I formation, tight end to the right. Now coming in motion once again over to the left. Looks as though they're going to run the play they were intending to. Inside handoff to the fullback, over to the right-hand side, up to the sideline. Wonderful run by the fullback. Fantastic run.
Yeah, Lewis shows good ability to get through the hole. You know, we talked about Fernandez not playing. He's primarily wide out, but certainly Lewis making his presence felt. He's a big kid. You notice that in pre-games. At 6'1", 210, you're not about to arm tackle him.
No, not at all. He is too big for that. Ambridge is up tight in a 2nd and 4 from their 46-yard line. Handoff over the right side. And my goodness, the offensive line just pushing back the pile and able to get that first down in
Chandler. Chandler just followed his blockers. And real quickly, it's Abdullah Amishad is 6'2", 200, the left tackle. David Kuntz, the left guard. The center is Blaze Kohler. You heard his coach talk about him. The right guard is Quinn Catch, again, the assistant coach's son. And Prentice, the big guy, is the right tackle.
Garay's under center in the pro formation. Inside handoff. The fullback once again up through the middle. A quick little spin, and down he goes at the Freedom 40-yard line. A pickup of 8.
Yeah, Lewis is certainly, he's quick enough to get through the hole, and then as we mentioned, you just can't arm tackle him. He is bulldozing people, and again, it's 6'1", 210. I'd hand it to him all night long.
I tell you what, when you have Lewis and Chandler in the backfield at the same time, it is a nightmare situation for anybody. Quick toss over to the left-hand side, and Chandler has it, breaking up the sideline all the way inside the red zone, down inside the 20. They're going to mark it at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, and we might as well tell our listeners what's going on is these young men, Lewis and Chandler, they're not getting tackled at the point of attack. They're getting into the secondary.
Nobody's touching them, not even close. Excellent point, Bruce. Okay, now we're looking at a 1st and 10 near hash mark. Once again, they're on the Freedom 17. They're in a pro formation. Snap under center, fullback once again, Xavier Lewis getting it, and finally Freedom able to clog up the middle and a gain of maybe 1.
Yeah, that was their first time. The linebackers came up. Certainly in the defensive line, it was T.J. Tatko. We heard his coach talk about him, and then Ryan Cradle, the inside linebacker, jersey 43. He's been around for some time. I think he started as a sophomore. He wraps things up.
Yeah, they like this pro formation. Garay's under center, I formation in the backfield, man in motion from right to left, and a stoppage in play. Timeout Ambridge. And we'll take a timeout as well. It's 0-0 Ambridge Freedom on the Beaver County Radio.
Copico's Pizza on the corner of 3rd and 8th Street in New Brighton uses the best ingredients in Beaver County. That's Kopickos. Copico's, where you can dine in, take out, or order online. Copico's has great lunch specials on junior pizzas, burgers and fries, Italian hoagies, and fish and chicken sandwiches. Copico's makes their own dough and unique sauce from scratch daily. Get 25% off wings with any pizza order at Copicos.com. That's Copico's Pizza in New Brighton, a taste above the rest.
And we're back. The big guys, Marley Moore, David Coons, Blaze Kolar, Dante Prentice, and Caleb Namath, just absolutely dominating the line of scrimmage on offense. And now Ambridge up. Grace under center. Quick wide receiver screen to the left-hand side, is able to pick up a few yards down inside the 15, down near the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and again, Uvidich, that's the kind of guy they want to get the ball in his hands, whether it's on a carry or on a catch. They feel he can make plays, but credit Freedom for coming out of the secondary and keeping it slim.
All right, now we're looking at a 3rd and a good 5 right now for Ambridge, clearly within 2-down territory. Grace under center, hand off to the deep back over the left-hand side, and a great tackle on Carlito Chandler, able to stuff him just beyond the line of scrimmage. They gave him almost 4. Are they going to give him the first down? No, just shy.
Yeah, Cooper Young comes up out of the secondary. That is called run support. The one thing about Ambridge in that situation is when you see Chandler coming with his head down, you know it's not going to be a pass. So the defensive backs can come up in run support.
He's listed at 205. He looks a whole lot bigger than that from here. Full house backfield. Grace sneaks it. It looks as though they got the first down. He didn't have to get much, but it looks as though he got all that he needed.
Yeah, we'll wait for the officials to actually spot the football.
Freedom giving a little bit of a sign that maybe it's short. Are they going to call out for a measurement maybe? Yes, they are. No, they are not. They're going to say he did not get it. I thought for sure he was able to get that foot on 4th and just inches, and the referee saying, no, it's not even worthy of a measurement.
Well, they're a lot closer to the situation than we are.
They sure are. They have much better angle considering we're sitting right around the 50, and the ball was down around the 8-yard line. So now it's 1st and 10 for Freedom after a huge red zone stop against Ambridge, able to take over the ball now and see what they can do with it. 1st and 10 at the 8, 3 to the right, quick handoff to the right-hand side, and didn't get anywhere. No. Tyler Welsh completely bottled up at the line.
Yeah, and again, Ambridge is making it tough at the point of attack, and again, Chandler comes up. When he comes up with a head of steam and run support, he is a force to be reckoned with. But Ambridge's defensive line certainly held its ground, and one of the key guys out there is Marley Moore at 6'2", 310. Wearing jersey 77. He's the right defensive tackle.
Ty Schulteis is in the pistol. Quick slant pattern once again and nearly picked off. Number 31, Trevor Stevenson, jumped that route. They got to be careful. It seems as though they're looking for those slant routes.
Well, that's because Ambridge has so many people up close. They recognize that Freedom might be more likely to throw short flare passes than bombs down the field. So Ambridge has had good position, but you're right, it's treacherous. Now it looks like they're going to go with a wildcat situation, or just at least an open shotgun.
There you go. And now you have Tyler Watson over the left-hand side, and he lost 2 yards on an inside handoff. They were set up 4 wide, trying to spread Ambridge out, but just weren't able to get anywhere.
Welsh just never had a chance. And again, Ambridge is winning the war in the trenches right now. This will be a precarious punt situation should they choose to punt.
And Schulteis, for the most part, just backs up a couple of steps. It's more from the pooch punt position, and he gets one off high, not all that deep, bounces at the 37, rolls a little bit, recovered around the 48, running out to the outside, down the sideline, able to get inside the 30, down to the 25, but there's a flag on the play at the 37-yard line far side.
You see this in punts all the time. The guy runs wide. He has a wave of blockers. There's one tackler down there. They block the guy who's on the coverage unit, and it becomes a question, is that a clip or not? In this situation, I honestly believe that it's going to be a clip against the Ambridge Bridgers.
A beautiful return. Udovich, just remarkable. Was that a crack block?
Yes, it's a blocking penalty against the Bridgers.
And that is going to move them all the way back, my goodness, to their own 40. It turns out to be about a 23-yard penalty from where the flag was, but if you consider where they had the ball inside the 30, it's really pushing them back far. All right, Ambridge has it. They're in the pro set once again. 2 receivers to the left. Grace under center. Chandler and Lewis in the backfield. Man in motion to the right. Fakes the handoff to Chandler. Back to pass. Scrambles and then throws it away out of bounds in the intended target of Grant Uvidich, but he really wasn't all that close.
No, that was certainly, I believe, an attempt to save face with an incompletion. Is that Gerace was flushed out of the pocket by Freedom, and it's very difficult when you're intending to turn around to your right to have somebody there waiting for you, so he had to spin and make a move to save a sack.
Yeah, now Balog has a decision to make. There's a penalty on the play. Are they going to move them back or not? He's talking to the officials right now. It looks as instead of it being a 2nd and 10 off the incomplete pass, we're going to go back to a 1st and 15 for the penalty against Ambridge. So once again, the ball on the 35-yard line, far side of the field, Ambridge going from right to left as you're listening. They are set up once again in the pro setup, tight end to the left-hand side, I formation to Chandler. Chandler up the middle. Chandler busting through tackles, falling forward, and is able to pick up 4 yards.
Yeah, it's just tough for Ambridge in that in both of their offensive drives tonight, they've started off 1st and 15, and that's the kind of thing that a young team, it's difficult to overcome. So they have the running backs to do it, but 1st and 15 is just not enviable.
Not at all. They're at 2nd and 11 now. They're in the huddle at this point, trying to compose themselves, get themselves together, figuring out what it is that they're going to do. And Uvidich running in from McBride on the sideline with the play. He just called the play. It looks as though he may go under center himself. He's going to take it from the Wildcat, Bruce. He's in the Wildcat. It's 5 wide in front of him. He takes the ball, runs to the left, and there was a flag.
Yeah, Ambridge jumped. The right side of their line moved, and that's the kind of thing that can happen on a quick substitution. You know, they brought Uvidich into the game with seconds left on the play clock, and in the whole situation, it winds up in a movement because it's a new quarterback cadence in the offensive line.
Right. They had a great situation. Now they're backed up to a 2nd and 16 once again. They've shown that they can move the ball on the ground running it, but right now, similar to last week, they're getting in their own way. We'll see if they're able to turn things around. Nobody's in the backfield. Grant Udovich has the ball running to the left-hand side, able to get to the edge, able to pick up about 3 yards on that play. It looks as though they ran the same play that they were wanting to run just a moment ago on that procedure penalty.
Yeah, they didn't want to make it too difficult, but again, Cradle's in on the tackle. I believe he's a wrestler also, and he's been a very good defensive player in his career for Freedom. Good speed to the outside. He showed it playing right outside linebacker as Ambridge ran to the left.
It is 3rd and 12, and Grant Udovich is breaking them out of the huddle. Once again, he is in the shotgun position, wildcat if you will, but Coach did say he could see some quarterback. 5 wide, 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Looks as though he's going to run. No, he's going to pass. Throws it over to the right-hand side. Able to get completed pass. Able to pick up just shy of the first down. 4 yards shy of the first down with a completion to Enzo Cottrell.
Yeah, Cottrell catches it, but he is, because of the nature of the way he was headed out on a diagonal, he's unable to have any yards after the catch, and he is driven out of bounds, leaving Ambridge short. But I don't see their punter on the field.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm blinded by the light. But I don't see 14.
That's a song, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see 14. Yeah, there he is.
Out there. He just got it.
Yeah,
and got the kick away. It was wide to his left-hand side. It bounces and takes a Ambridge roll for a couple of yards, and number 50 falls on that for Ambridge. Caleb Namath recovers it, and now Freedom has it 1st and 10 going the other way. Back with more in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
If you have big plans for this fall, like a new car or home remodeling project, but feel like it's getting a little late in the game and you're out of timeouts, it's time to call an audible, a 749 audible. This is Coach Andy Dengel from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. 24-month personal loans are now available with approved credit from 7.49%. So get up to the line, the teller line that is, and call your own 749 audible. Stop in for details. Member NCUA, Equal Housing.
And we're back. Tyler Schulteis back draw over the left-hand side, able to pick up nearly 10 yards. It looked as though it was a busted play where he wanted to throw out to the right, didn't see what he was wanting to see, and then decided to run up the left-hand side, picked up nearly 10.
Yeah, but the problem for Freedom is he gets up really slowly and is gingerly, he didn't appear to be hurt, but I think shaken up and rattled might be the case. I personally think it was a design quarterback draw.
Okay. Schulteis in the pistol. Tyler Welsh behind him, and the handoff to Welsh over the right-hand side. Looks as though he's got a blocker. Can he get the edge? He's got the edge. He's down the 40, 50. But then it was a beautiful run, but the referee decided he wanted to throw a flag along with one of the line judges back at the 30-yard line. So it looks as though it's all coming back.
Yeah, it's in the area generally associated with holding. You would tend to think it's holding on Freedom, but we'll let tonight's officials sort things out. We respect their judgment.
Of course. Holding against the offense from the 30. That's going to back them up. It looks as though all the way to the 21-yard line. I believe one of the rule changes that took place this year, Bruce, is that instead of it being a spot foul, it is a penalty that is enforced from the previous line of scrimmage. So it goes back 10 yards from the 31.
And we'll see how it works out for Freedom, how it changes their playbook. Nobody, and again, as we look on the far sideline, Coach Balog, it comes back to the sideline. Tyler Welsh was shaken up on that play. He was attended to on the Ambridge sideline. Now he's walking across the field with his helmet off towards the Freedom bench, so they'll have to substitute for him. And more than likely, it will be Carter Osesi is how you say that. It's an amazing name, Osadciw, but they tell me it's pronounced Osisi.
Remarkable. However, Freedom, and what we're looking at is it looks as though they're in the Wildcat number 2. Number 2, Isaiah Leisha, the backup quarterback, was taking the snap.
But Freedom took too much time, which, as we mentioned on the Ambridge series of downs, it can happen with a new quarterback. There can be a delay in getting the ball exchanged. And again, we reported earlier that Schulteis was shaken up when he carried that ball on first down. So it's two new members of the offensive backfield for Freedom.
Once again, Isaiah Leisha is in the shotgun. It looks as though they're changing out players. This is a first, and do I have it right, 25. First and 25 for Freedom on their own 16-yard line. And now the referee is coming over and having a conversation with Coach McBride.
Yeah, it was an official stoppage of play. It's not charged to either team. The timeout, one timeout has been previously charged to Ambridge, but bottom line is this is not a timeout on either team, but they are talking. They have some officials talking to the Freedom coaching staff, and they have some officials talking to the Ambridge coaching staff.
Well, after that first penalty on that big run, Bulldog was all the way out to around the hash marks having a conversation.
This is something I've not seen, and that is the referees talking to Ambridge Athletic Director Joe Lamenza. You rarely see an athletic director on the field of play.
You got to wonder if it's a clock issue.
Yeah, well, Joe is looking up in the direction of the press box here while he talks into a walkie-talkie.
And from the Fry Transportation Update Desk, Avonworth is leading Central Valley 7-0. Elwood City is on top of Union 14-7. And Mike Azadian on the sideline. Mike, are you making any heads or tails out of what's going on down there?
Not really. I don't know whether it looks to me like Welsh sitting on the bench. I'm going to try to find out what's wrong with him. They were working on his knee, and I have no idea why Schulteis is on the sidelines right now. I think he might have been shaking a big hit there. You guys can describe that. And there are going to be flags all over the place after that late hit. That might have been helmet-to-helmet contact.
Yeah, it's targeting. But it doesn't matter what part of your body hits somebody in the head. If you hit somebody in the head, it's a foul.
Yes. Isaiah Leisha threw a deep pattern between the hash marks and the 40 and the numbers, and he was looking for Dakota Roberts. Dakota Roberts went up for it, and as he was up in the air in a defenseless player position, the safety came over and hit him really high, shoulders maybe even toward the head region, and immediately two referees threw a penalty flag. So now you go from a 1st and 25 to now you're... Will they give them all of the yardage necessary for a first down here, Bruce?
Let's see how they sort this out. Again, the hit was against Grant Uvidich. He comes up with a hit, but I would think that this is not a spot foul. I mean, I think this is just yardage. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Okay.
That's why we go from 1st and 25 to 1st and 10.
And we're right back after all of that to where we were just a few minutes ago. 1st and 10 for the Freedom Bulldogs. They're moving left to right. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun position. And Schulteis back in at quarterback. Throws a quick slant over the middle to Cody Patterson. Complete and a pickup for about 5 yards.
Yeah, and see, this is the new Freedom. They believe that if they're trying to win the battle of first down and score 4 or more yards, you can do it with a 5-yard pass. That's what they just did.
Schulteis back in, moving around. Doesn't look as though anything's wrong with him whatsoever. Calling for the snap. Back the pass. Quick slant over to the left-hand side. And wonderful coverage on that from Trevor Stevenson on the outside to break up that pass.
Yeah, Stevenson in perfect position. And again, it seems like Freedom's trying for short pass attempts. They're not really throwing it down the field. Their reserve quarterback did it on his lone pass, but it turns out that Schulteis, for the most part, is throwing short. Ambridge just realizes that, and they are pretty close to the line of scrimmage defensively.
3rd down, 5 yards to go. Pistol formation, 4 wide receivers. Quick handoff over the left-hand side. Breaks it over the corner. Gets to what looks like the first down. Tackled in bounds. Able to get it by a yard. And that was Carter Osecki.
Osecki is the way it was explained to me.
Osecki.
Yes. Coach Boyd up here in the press box doing a very good job. The throws coach at Freedom and an outstanding football coach as well.
Carter Osecki. You got to wonder how many conversations he had with teachers first day at school.
Oh, I can only imagine.
All right, Freedom back. 3 wide receivers to the right. He's rolling to the right. Throws it out of bounds into the flat by the 50-yard line, just looking for a way of getting out of the pocket. And
Dante Prentice from his left defensive tackle position just blew that up. And again, Prentice is a sign of resurgence in the Ambridge community because he went to North Catholic as a freshman where his brother, I think his name was Jay, was the starting quarterback against Central Valley in the championship game at what was then Heinz Field. But Prentice, instead of staying at North Catholic, chose to play for his hometown Ambridge Bridgers, and that's been a big lift for the community.
Penalty against Freedom. They decided to decline it on the Ambridge side. It is now 2nd and 10. and they're getting themselves lined up. We will check in with Mike Azadian here after this play to find out what he may know about potential injuries over on the Freedom side.
I can honestly say that in this football game, we've had more penalty yards than total offense yards.
Well, I'm looking forward to the numbers you come up with because you may be right about that. All right, once again, Freedom, 2 left, 1 right, snaps over Schulteis's head and just falls on it on the 27-yard line. It was a direct snap. He was kind of in this pistol shotgun formation, and it just went right over his head and sailed.
Yes, but again, he did the right thing in keeping it simple. You know, sometimes the urge is to pick it up and try to make something happen, but when there's a deluge of garnet and gray Ambridge shirts descending on you, you might be better served to just fall on the football, and that's what Schulteis did.
3rd and 26, nothing. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Freedom once again in the shotgun with Schulteis, 2 to the left, 2 to the right side. Carr on the left-hand side, fakes the inside handoff, screen pass out to the left-hand side. However, Ambridge all over that one, and a great tackle that was made as well by number 16, Martise Priest, was able to come up and just absolutely level them. We're at 4th down now. Let me check in with Mike Azadian. Mike, do you know anything on the sideline about the injury potentially to Tyler Welsh?
Well, it looks to me, I can't get full confirmation, but they keep working on his right leg. Looks like either a calf or something with his leg, and his helmet is off. He's sitting on the sideline. He talked to the trainer. He talked to assistant coaches. They patted him on the head. And for now, he's not in this game. I'll try to get more confirmation to exactly what it is.
Cody Patterson deep for the punt, and he gets off a short kick. It's a high one, angling to the near sideline, rolls out of bounds. It looks as though the officials are going to mark it at the 42-yard line. So when we come back, Ambridge, 1st down. It's 0-0 on Beaver County Radio.
The Standard Bar and Grill on the river in Bridgewater is the place to enjoy summer. A great atmosphere, delicious food, and plenty of drinks are what you'll find at The Standard. The Standard in Bridgewater is boater friendly and has their own dock, DJs and live bands on Fridays and Saturday nights, an outside bar, an area to dance, and a beautiful view from their patio are just a few of the amenities at The Standard. That's The Standard Bar and Grill in Bridgewater.
And we're back. Grace under center. Hand off to Chandler. Chandler up the middle, able to pick up 1, maybe 2 yards on the play. Freedom able to bottle that run up.
Yeah, that was one of Freedom's best defensive surges that we've seen tonight. Certainly in on that. They had good defensive pressure. I believe it was Wyatt Boyer in on that. And also Trey Gorajewski, if I'm saying that right. He is listed as a 9th grader.
Grace under center. Hand off to Chandler up the middle once again. And absolutely closing in from the left-hand side. Ryan Credle was able to come in, wrap up Chandler, and hold him to a gain of maybe 1.
We've talked about Cradle before and how he's an effective wrestler. He comes in off the right side defensively and simply peels around the tackle to make the stop. So now Ambridge is in a situation of 3rd and 7. Is this an Ambridge timeout here?
This is the end of the first quarter.
There you go. That's even better yet.
At the end of 1, it's Freedom 0, Ambridge 0. Back with more on Beaver County Radio.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
And the teams change sides, and now Ambridge is going from our left to the right as the sun is setting here. It is a 3rd and 7. Pitch out to Chandler to the left, full head of steam, and able to get very near the first down marker. It looked like he is so close.
I think he's over, but we'll see how they spot the football. Freedom met him. They were very valiantly, but Chandler was able to fall forward, and he picks up the sticks.
Mike, what do you know on the injury front now?
Okay, Tyler Welsh is dealing with a hamstring problem, and they don't know whether he'll play or not. That is the word we're getting. Also, Ty Schulteis is dealing with a left hand problem. He either got stepped on by a spike or a helmet fell on it, so he's icing it. That's his issue.
Very good, Mike. Thank you very much. And Gerace with a handoff over to the left-hand side. Udovich running up the sideline. He was able to catch that corner so quick and get up the sideline. But, Bruce, he may have been able to do that because there are 2 flags on the field.
Yeah, and again, it's unfortunate because for both of these teams tonight, it seems every time they have a positive moment, it comes back on a foul. And this is where, both coaches have talked about with their teams not being playoff teams a year ago, you have to learn how to win. And part of learning how to win is eliminating mistakes.
Yeah, I remember talking with Coach Bob Palco, retired Coach Palco, all-time great. And one of the things that he focused on was getting the kids to perfect the no talent portion of the game. You don't have to have a lot of talent not to have any illegal motion, illegal procedure, things like that.
Yeah, but it also helps that you have talent like his son and Doran Dickerson and some of the other people too. It certainly is helpful.
Sure does. All right, 1st and 20, Ambridge from their own 42 near hash mark as they're going from left to right. Hand off to Chandler once again over the right-hand side and bottled up quickly by number 3, Austin Anderson. Just a perfect textbook tackle. You go ahead, go low, wrap your arms around the legs, and you drive him to the ground.
Yeah, and certainly in there also one of their quad captains, Jake Hilberry, the 11th grader defensive lineman. He is the left tackle defensively. He made his presence felt on that play also.
Pickup of 5, 2nd and 15 on the play. And now we're looking at a very tight formation. Gerace under center, 3 men in the backfield. Handoff over the left-hand side. And Ubedic not getting anywhere. They were able to sniff that play out. Carter Osesi, once again, number 6, tackled in the backfield on that play.
Yeah, Osesi's an interesting case in that they're moving him around defensively, and Ambridge just really hasn't totally accounted for his presence as he, as you described, slips into the opening to make the tackle.
Ambridge set 4 wide. Gerace under center with Chandler in the backfield behind him. Lewis in motion to the left. Hand off to Chandler, and he is going nowhere. He was met in the backfield at the handoff. Number 77, Caden Martin, just absolutely busting up that play.
No question about it, but Freedom with a good job, quote unquote, staying at home. They sometimes, when you see 2 wideouts on either side, it can simply be a fake, an illusion, and that's what it was. Freedom recognized that and made the play.
Ambridge in the punt formation, and a kick is away. Collected by the up man, and he was just absolutely leveled as he was trying to collect the ball. It was number 8, Dakota Roberts, the wide receiver who was running up to try to get the ball. He got it, and then as he was trying to bring it in, he was immediately hit by an Ambridge defender, knocked the ball loose, and then recovered by Ambridge. 1st and 10, Ambridge on the Freedom 38.
Caleb Namath wearing jersey number 50. He came up with the football for the Bridgers, and his teammates mob him on the sidelines.
What a great play. Absolutely stellar. Okay, here we go. Ambridge with the ball. Back to pass. Deep down the right-hand side. Ubedic is open. Did he get it? He caught it. Right there on the sideline. It is now 1st and 10 inside the 15. Gerace threw it up. Uvidich went up for it over the defender, grabbed it, 1 foot in bounds, fell out of bounds, first down.
Yeah, and again, that doesn't surprise me out of Sherman McBride, taking a shot right after a turnover.
And shot he did, and now they're set up once again. They're in tight formation. Grace under center, hand off to Chandler up the middle, and imposing his will on the Freedom defense, able to move up for what looks like almost 8 yards on the play, directly up the middle, up the heart of that defense.
I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm Ambridge, it's either 32 or 26 now that they're this close in the red zone. 32 being Chandler and 26 being Lewis.
What a 1-2 punch. They are so big. There are some teams, their linemen aren't that big.
Oh, no question about it. There's teams, there's no doubt. It happens everywhere, but they're at the 6, and I would expect them to bulldoze.
Grace under center.
Ambridge moved.
Yep.
Ambridge moved. That's tough. Again, it really can diminish your momentum. The thing is that it's not, even though Ambridge is in the red zone, it's not a and goal situation. All they have to do is get to the 3 for a first down. But this penalty takes them from the 3 back out to the 8, so that just makes it a little bit tougher. They're just going to have to dig down and keep opening holes for their running backs.
A.J. Grace under center. Up close, tight formation, hand off to Chandler over the right-hand side. Penetrating through the line was a Freedom lineman, however, just not able to keep Chandler from being able to pick up a couple of yards on that play. Number 77, Caden Martin, once again, able to get through the line, but not able to stop the big man, Chandler.
Right, but he did slow him enough to keep it from being devastating. So we'll see how this plays out. For our listeners, the ball's on the right hash mark, which is generally considered favorable for a right-footed kicker, but that's several plays from now.
2 wide receivers over to the left. Grace under center, hand off to Chandler, and once again, Freedom came in off the edge. Number 43, Ryan Cradle. He's been amazing tonight on defense.
Oh, we've talked about him before. Again, to the best of my knowledge, he's a wrestler for Freedom, and he's been out there playing since he was is a sophomore. I vividly recall dealing with him. He was a member of Freedom's infamous trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2021 to see Jimbo Covert inducted. I believe Ambridge calls timeout because they had one man short on the field. Actually, it's Freedom to make a defensive adjustment.
Yes, because it looks as though Ambridge is going to go for this on 4th down and not bring out Braden Reeves for the field goal attempt. It's 0-0, 6:49 left in the second quarter. Back with more on Beaver County Radio.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
And we're back. Ambridge, once again, 4th and about 4 from their 8-yard line of Freedom. They're trying to punch this in. Really big 4th down play. Can they get it? Can Freedom stop them? It looks as though that Grace was just trying to get them to jump at this point. Timeout, this time Ambridge. Not sure exactly what was going on with that one, Bruce. Was it an attempt to try to get Freedom to jump?
100%. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. They looked and looked, and the quarterback's looking right at the play clock. They could see it tick down, but they called timeout. It looked like with 2 seconds left on the play clock, because they certainly didn't want to get penalized 5 more.
This is so tempting because in one way you're playing well enough on defense. If you go for it and you hold Freedom down here, it looks as though you can play the ball position game and you feel like you can get pretty good position if they have to then punt. But at the same time, you want to get some points on the board. It looks as though they're going to go for it.
Yeah, again, let's tell our listeners 4th and 3 yards to go.
Yes, tight formation. Okay, now Ambridge spreading it out. 2 wide receivers to the right. Lewis on the right-hand side. Chandler with the ball. Freedom just absolutely stuffing this over the right side. This offensive line for Ambridge having a difficult time dealing with these smaller guys at Freedom, and they were able to shoot the gaps, tackle Chandler for a loss, and now it's Freedom with the ball going the other way.
Yeah, and again, it's up to Ambridge now because there still is 6:44 to play in this first half. So if Ambridge can hold Freedom here and adopt a short field, the Bridgers will have time. But Freedom does have the emotional advantage of having stopped Ambridge after what could have been a dangerous turnover.
Ty Schulteis is in the pistol formation. High snap, hand off to the running back. Just absolutely tripped up. Number 23, Caden DeLon, was the runner there, able to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Yeah, and DeLon, excuse me, I don't believe that was DeLon. I think it was 23. DeLon is their we'll take a look at it under the lights. DeLon is their place kicker, and he's a soccer player. Maybe they do employ him as a tailback. But in any event, I would think it's jersey 23 in the backfield for Freedom.
Quick snap. He's going deep. Schulteis got a man open. Number 5. What a completion out to the 38-yard line. He ran what looked to be an out pattern and was able to get beyond the defender, and Schulteis just absolutely nailed that. Was that Cody Patterson?
Cooper Young with the reception.
Young.
Although Cooper Young is is being attended to on the sideline also. I'm concerned for his upper body. I was not. It didn't seem natural the way he hit the turf after that reception. We'll take a look at it. Mike Azadian's over there. But the situation remains. Freedom does have a tremendous pickup here, and certainly their biggest offensive play of the night, hands down.
We will come back with more. We are broadcasting from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth. It's 0-0, 5:59 left to go in the second quarter. Hold on one second. It looks as though the players are coming back out onto the field. What looked to be a bit of an injury, it also looks as though there was a bit of a uniform adjustment as well for number 43, Ryan Credle. Must have been a shoe or something, maybe a little bit of a tape that came loose. All right, Freedom now ready to go. They're on the far hash mark. They're set up on their own 37-yard line. 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right, snap back, handoff, and a quick tackle. Oh my goodness, guy coming in off of the left edge. Did you see who that was? I believe it's number 7. Is it 17?
Yeah.
It's so hard to see. He's so far on the other side, but it was just a great play.
That's correct. Yeah, right out of the secondary, yes. And again, he's the left defensive back, Nathan Sheffield, on the far sideline. He's the left defensive back, and he came up and run support.
Yes, he did. Did a remarkable job there. It is now 2nd and 11, a loss of 1. 4 wide receivers, 2 and 2. Schulteis back, looking for somebody over the middle. Incomplete. And he was looking to complete a pass to Isaiah Leisha, his backup quarterback, running a really nice pass pattern.
Yeah, he was, but Leisha slid. I don't know if he was doing that by design to try to make the reception. The pass was delivered low, and it just landed a little bit short of the target. But it's one of those ones where you think that play did pretty well. Let's bring it back in the second half at some point.
Freedom lining up, 3rd and 11. 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Pistol formation, man in motion from left to right. Handoff up the middle. Ambridge able to sniff that play out right from the beginning. Just absolutely collapsing on that play.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time for that whole thing to develop. By the time the motion man was deployed, they hiked it right before the play clock ticked off. Trevor Stevenson, we've talked about him before. He's really played a good game from his linebacking position tonight for Ambridge, the Bridgers.
It is now 4th and 15 Freedom did a remarkable job of being able to get it out from under the shadow of their own goalposts just to get it out this far. They're now in what looks to be a punt formation and a quick punt, and it gets away. Nice high kick. Ambridge calling for the fair catch. He got it on the far side of the field between the hash marks and the numbers, and it's now 1st and 10 from the 38, heading from left to right for Ambridge against Freedom. It's 0-0. Back with more on Beaver County Radio.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
Ambridge in a tight formation once again. Wide receiver out to the right. Shotgun. Direct snap to Uvidich. He takes it to the right. Now back to the left. He has some open field. Able to get by a blocker, by a tackler, and out to the beyond the 50-yard line. Looks as though he's all the way into Freedom's territory at the 48.
Yeah, an unusual reversal of field, but as you described, the play comes out to the right side. Uvidich says, I don't think this is going to work, and he drops his shoulder, goes back the other way. He's now talking to Coach Mike Smianik on the sideline, and it was up to Dakota Roberts to make the tackle that saved at least 25 more yards. So certainly one of Ambridge's highlight offensive plays of the evening.
Back to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10, far hash mark, once again tight, inside handoff to Chandler over the right-hand side, then up the middle, and is able to get through the Freedom defense all the way beyond the sticks, first down yardage.
That was an interesting utilization of Chandler in that he wasn't a setback in the backfield. They had him out on the wing, and they brought him in motion so that when he got the football, he had a head of steam already, which I'm glad I'm in the press box. I'm glad I'm not responsible for tackling the young man.
Well, see, I didn't realize he had moves like that. I expected that from Xavier Lewis, but Chandler, he has some moves and some real power as well, so we'll continue to see what he does. Once again, Ambridge.
They're going to hike it right to him this time.
It looks that way. Handoff now to Uvidich over the right-hand side, and he's able to pick up a few yards.
Yeah, they hiked it to Chandler, and then he handed it off to Uvidich. So that's something that a defensive coordinator has got to be aware of.
Right. It's a bit surprising that you would have a direct snap to the big running back like that. Uvidich has taken those direct snaps whenever Grace has not been at a quarterback.
The whole idea, you're trying to plant a seed of doubt in the defense's mind.
Keep everybody guessing.
And the other thing Ambridge is trying to do, we're at the 2.5-minute mark, first half. They're in a scoreless game. They're just trying to beat down Freedom towards the end of the period.
Uvidich with the direct snap over the left-hand side, tight formation, and he was just able to go right up his left guard and tackle and pick up what looks to be 8-9 yards. It looks as though the referees are going to say, nope, we'll make it 10. Yeah. It's a first down.
And the other thing in this situation, though, that's fortunate for Ambridge because I don't believe, according to my math, they don't have any timeouts left. So Ambridge has got to keep it to the vest and not and we've talked about learning how to win. This is where you got to stay on sides. You got to not hold. You got to avoid penalties of any kind.
Uvidich continues to stay in. Now Chandler looking to take the direct snap. And then there was a stoppage.
Think too much time, but we'll see. Maybe Freedom called time in the meantime, but it's no play. We see that. Now there. Is it something in Ambridge's substitution pattern as Uvidich comes to the sideline?
Yeah, Uvidich is coming to the sideline. It looks as though that Gerace is going back out. And McBride just really frustrated at this point, considering that they've been really successful at moving the ball, but there have been these mental miscues.
Right, well, that does not result in a penalty, but what we see now, they're going all the way back to the beginning point with Gerace as quarterback in a traditional set.
And they're all in tight. 3 running backs Zavon Lewis on the up back hits it over the left-hand side, looks for the sideline, is able to pick up some really good yardage before he is run out of bounds. When they put 3 running backs in that backfield, it's got to be just kind of like a little bit of a mind game for all the defenders for Freedom about where are they going to go with this ball.
Right, especially because the ones who don't carry it are big enough to throw a thunderous block as well. But what Lewis was able to do was get out of bounds, which stops the second period clock at 1:47. Again, Ambridge out of timeouts. Freedom has a couple. I only see Freedom as calling 1 timeout.
Yeah, Freedom is at 2. Ambridge is 0. Score is locked up at 0. Ambridge in tight. However, shotgun formation, direct snap to Uvidich, and he had to just fall on it at that point. Just wasn't able to handle the snap from center.
Yeah, I don't know that it was necessarily low. I think it was a case of Grant just wanting really hard to get to the line of scrimmage in a hurry and just not really having control of the pigskin before he settled in.
Yeah, you're looking at about a third and, well, it is a third, but it's about 7 yards to go for the first down. They are on the Freedom 24-yard line on the far hash marks going from left to right. Wide receiver split, roll out to the right. Chase throws just over the head of the wide receiver, Nathan Sheffield, just not quite able to pull that ball in.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very difficult catch because he was defended well on the sideline also. Certainly good pass coverage by Anderson of the Freedom Bulldogs. So now and again, let's tell our listeners, if they're wondering about this 4th and 7 situation, there's no kicker on the field for Ambridge. The Bridgers, with 1:07 to play in the half, are going to go for it one way or the other.
Gerace under center. 2 wide receivers to the right. I formation behind him. He rolls to the right. Back pass to the left-hand side. His receiver catches it, gets tackled immediately, fumbles the ball, and then it goes out of bounds. And now Freedom just beside themselves. They're able to stop him on 4th down. And the fumble. The fumble doesn't really mean all that much, but it is a real motivator, though.
Well, yeah, the situation is that Freedom has the football with 1:00 to play in the first half, and it'll be interesting here to see if they try to throw it or if they're content to run dives into the line.
You have to feel good about coming into Ambridge and going into halftime knotted up at zeros at this point. We'll see what they do. They're spreading the offense out, 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and it looks as though they're going to have a direct snap, handoff over to the right-hand side, and a pickup of about 1 on the play.
Yeah, Cooper Young carries the football to the right side, and we can tell our listeners what we saw. He had 2 hands on the football to make absolutely sure he protected it deep in his own territory late in the half.
The last thing you want to do is cause a fumble. We're down now to 35 seconds.
Yeah,
running clock. Ambridge unable to stop it at this point.
Right, and Freedom unwilling to stop it at this point.
And it looks as though the play clock is not running, so it doesn't look as though they're going to have to get a play off, but they do. Handoff over the left-hand side. Ambridge sniffing this one out. 4 people coming up on a gang tackle to stop them with 12 seconds left to go, and it seems as though that's the last play of the half.
Yeah, that's for sure. It was, for the record, Carter Cece with the carry for Freedom, but that's certainly going to terminate the first half with no score.
Mike Azadian is on the sideline with Coach McBride. Mike?
Offense moved the ball great on your first possession. You guys just couldn't punch it in.
Mistakes. You know, you can't win games when you're making little mistakes like that.
Your running backs are playing well. You're using more than a couple of guys, using a couple of quarterbacks, giving them different looks.
Well, I mean, it was the game plan going in, but like I said, we got to capitalize at the end.
So stopping mistakes, I'm guessing, is your word at halftime to the kids.
Without a doubt.
All right, I know you want to get to your guys. Hey, guys, real quick. By the way, you talked about the 40-second clock, and you talked about the Ambridge athletic director. I confirmed that that is what it is. They're keeping the time on the field. You will not see that run. They shut it off from upstairs. that's just what I've been told. So I'll try to find out more about the injuries from the Freedom side.
Mike, I do appreciate that. Mike Azadian on the sideline doing a fantastic job of keeping us all up to date and explaining why the 40-second clock did not move, especially in that last series. It's tied up at 0. Freedom 0. Ambridge 0. We are at the half from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth. The halftime show is next on Beaver County Radio.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale-Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
You know a child who struggles to read? If so, the tuition-free brick-and-mortar Provident Charter School West is here to help. The Provident Charter School West in Baden is helping children from 1st grade through 4th learn to overcome dyslexia so they can return to their hometown schools and graduate with their friends. Provident Charter School West meets the needs of children with dyslexia so they can become the inventors and educators of tomorrow. For more information, visit providentcharterschool.org.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
Choose your path at Community College of Beaver County and start learning for real life and real life. CCBC's 2-year degree programs get you trained and earning a salary in less time and with less debt. Programs in aviation, nursing, education, process technology, criminal justice, and more will prepare you for a real future. You belong here. Apply now or learn more at ccbc.edu.
Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but winning is all in the game when you shop for a used car at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall. Because the Beaver Valley Auto Mall believes that the experience of buying a used car should be an exciting and simple process. When you're looking for a used car near the Beaver Valley area, look no further than the inventory of cars and trucks and SUVs at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall. Stop in today and see their incredible selection. You'll find all the help you need or click BeaverValleyCars.com. Beaver Valley Auto Mall, near the mall in Center Township.
You're listening to 2023 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly & George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
from Ambridge on a beautiful Friday night. And what a football game. I didn't think a 0-0 game could be a dramatic game, but there has been a lot of high drama in this game. Turnovers, key penalties, change of momentum, but we're knotted up at 0-0 at halftime.
That's
Bruce.
what they say about European football also. 0-0 can be exciting. We are tied at half. The one that surprises me, I'll give the Riverhawks of Armstrong credit. They've invaded the pit for the first game ever at the new pit, which is now called Heinz Field in Aliquippa, and it's actually tied at 12 at the half. I'm impressed with what the Riverhawks have done. Also, we have Highlands and Blackhawk tied at 7. We have Central Valley and Avonworth tied at 7. We have Hopewell over New Brighton 21-7. Mohawk ahead of Quaker Valley 28-0. And the Wolverines of Elwood City over Union 14-7 at this juncture.
And you are getting those from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Bruce, if you would, I'd like to be able to speak with Joe Lamenza here. And if you would, please.
Mr. Joe, always a pleasure. Here you can have the headsets.
Coming up at the end of the game is the Electric Garage Doors post-game show. We will be interviewing the winning coach, and we will also be interviewing the two CCBC players of the game, one from the winning team, the other from the losing team. We'll have that coming up at the end of the game in the Electric Garage Doors post-game show. And then afterwards, it's all followed up by the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. With me right now in the broadcast booth is Joe Lamenza. He's the athletic director here at Ambridge. And Joe, we were talking about this going into half, that the play clock is not working. What can you tell us about the play clock situation for the rest of the game?
We were having some technical difficulties tonight with the electric in the press box, and the play clock seemed to be inconsistent. So, rather than try to manage that all night and let it affect the game, we just decided to shut it down and let the officials keep the play clock on the field like they used to do.
I want to tell you, this is my first trip to Ambridge, the first trip here to the football stadium to see this school. It's an absolutely gorgeous facility you have here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we take a lot of pride in our facility here in our stadium. It's we think it's the best stadium in Beaver County. That's not a knock to the folks across the river. I know they just built a beautiful stadium, but this is we feel like this is a top-notch facility as far as the size goes, and that's why we're always happy to host playoff games here for the WPIL.
And when it comes to the football program, it seems as though there is more and more interest in young people coming out and playing for Coach McBride. It seems from what I've read in reports that there have been double-digit increases over the past couple of years of kids wanting to come out and play football.
I would agree with that. Yeah, Coach McBride is, has done a great job getting kids out and off the fence, and he has a tough job here. And I think one of the most important things a coach can do is make sure that you have all of the most capable athletes in your school on the team if you can. Mm-hmm. That's the best anyone can do is to be able to recruit your own hallways and get as many kids out for your sport as you can.
Joe Lamenza with us. He is the athletic director here at Ambridge. He's also a assistant principal here as well. When it comes to getting young people to want to play sports, is it more difficult now than, say, when you and I were back in school?
I think so. We're competing against a lot of different things for their attention, and it's football especially is a big commitment. And there are a number of factors that contribute to the decrease in participation in football across the board. I mean, that problem's not unique to Ambridge. I think every school has been affected by it. And you could probably start with enrollment. Everyone's enrollment has been dropping for whatever reason. So I think there, relatively speaking, the numbers, there's a correlation there between the numbers in your building and the numbers on the playing field.
Mm-hmm. Moms and dads that are listening right now, tell them why you think that they should have their kids involved in whatever the sport may be. Maybe it's football, maybe it's soccer, volleyball, whatever it might be. Why should they do all that they can to encourage their kids to be involved in athletics?
I think it's been proven time and time again that young people that are involved in extracurricular activities have a better school experience. They tend to be better students, better sons, better daughters. They tend to contribute more to society as they graduate from high school and move on to whatever they decide to do. I think that experience in extracurricular activities, especially sports, can have a profound impact on a young person for the rest of their lives.
Some people think it's only about playing here in order to get to the next level. It's so much more than that, though.
I would agree with that. It's the majority of kids that play high school sports everywhere, don't go on to play sports in college. I mean, there's really only a small percentage of players that go on to play in college. So I think it's important that we use sports and that experience of being on a team to teach character traits like hard work, commitment, teamwork, responsibility, accountability, perseverance. Those are lessons that they're hard to get anywhere else as a young person. I think sports and extracurriculars provides young people with that opportunity.
And those extracurriculars can also include the amazing band we're listening to right now.
Absolutely. I mean, we encourage our kids to get involved in something. And I know myself personally, I mean, I'm a big proponent of kids playing multiple sports. I'm not in favor of specialization at all. I think, again, the more they can do in their time in high school, the better high school experience that they're going to have socially, emotionally, academically. I think sports contribute to all of those things in a major way.
What are the next programs, sports, that you will be signing kids up for?
Well, I mean, winter sports will be here right before you know it. We have boys and girls basketball, wrestling. Winter sports, there aren't as many sports as there are in the fall, but our winter coaches have already had their interest meetings, and they're getting their off-season programs going, and in a month they're going to be practicing.
Joe Lamenza, once again, athletic director here at Ambridge, joining us at halftime. And even though it's a 0-0 game, it's been one that's been filled with a lot of drama.
Yeah, I mean that's what we expected. Freedom always has a formidable football team. They're tough kids. They're not the same classification as Ambridge, but they are our neighbors geographically. So I suppose there's a natural rivalry there, and we knew this was going to be a hard-fought game.
Joe, congratulations on a great turnout tonight. Great football program. The band playing, sounding wonderful, and looking forward to seeing what you're able to do through the rest of the season as well.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Joe Lamenza, once again, the athletic director here at Ambridge. More coming up in a moment. We're tied at zeros at halftime. I'm Robert Mangino. You're listening to Beaver County Radio.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Hilario for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden-Aliquippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Are you a believer?
Yes, I am a believer.
I am absolutely a believer.
I am a believer.
I'm a believer.
I'm a Baba Beaver believer.
I'm a believer. Let's go.
Hurry in for the Labor Day sales event. Get 10% off MSRP on all new Woodstock Compass, Cherokee, and Renegade models. Plus, get a new Grand Cherokee 4XE for just $469 a month. And as always, get guaranteed credit approval.
For the best deals in service, you know where to go. Become a believer at Beaver County Auto.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we're up against, is our plan. But it quite so speed into it. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
We are knotted up at 0. Freedom, Ambridge, here just off the coast of the Ohio River in Ambridge. Absolutely gorgeous night for football. If anything, Bruce, it seems a little warm. I don't know about you, but it's a little warm here tonight.
Yeah,
maybe
well,
it was the
that's
sun
because
that was beating down on us.
direct sun caused it, and the direct sun caused it, and it made it a little warm. But again, it's a great night for football. Everybody's sitting there and enjoying the contest on both sides of the pitch, and it's just waiting. Both fan groups are just waiting to explode for something positive to happen in terms of scoring, and that's what, again, these are young teams that are trying to, quote unquote, learn how to win, and somebody's going to win tonight. And we'll see how it plays out here on Beaver County Radio.
Let's look at both sides of the ball here. For Freedom, it doesn't appear to me as though they are causing as many self-inflicted mistakes, if you will, and self-inflicted errors, where Ambridge, they've had opportunities and things just for one reason or another have not gone their way in being able to get the ball from the red zone over the goal line.
Well, that's for sure. What you're alluding to is Ambridge has had more chances inside the red zone. Freedom really hasn't gotten there, but they've had self-inflicted wounds in the meantime, including a clip or two. But again, these are teams who are just going to have. It's going to be a battle of attrition in the second half. We'll do the best we can to cover it, but that's the way things are going. From the Fried Transportation Instant Update Desk, we've had some changes. Aliquippa's scored twice now. They lead Armstrong 24-12 in the third. Highlands and Blackhawk each have added 6 points, so that they're knotted at 13. Hopewell's pulling away from New Brighton 34-7. So those are some things going on, and we'll hopefully get reports later on. Oh, the other one we had not reported is Beaver. Wait, let me get this right. Beaver Falls leads Beaver 8-7.
Okay.
Is the way I understand it, but that's Beaver Falls' home game.
That is a good way to understand it. There's an interesting site that I am checking out right now. Tyler Welsh is wearing a game jersey. However, he is not wearing pads, and it looks as though he is out for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Mike Azadian on the sideline. Mike, you had a chance to talk with Tyler when he was on the coach's corner with you, and I see you just were able to exchange a couple of words. What can you tell us?
Talk to the coach first.
Okay.
First, Tyler, hamstring issue, so he's out for this game. I don't think the coaching staff wants to risk it, Coach. Tough losing Tyler, but you guys still played pretty tough on defense. Stopped them inside the 20 twice.
Yeah, we did. We had backups step up into the spot, and that's what all you can ask for. We've got some depth.
a couple of mistakes here and there, but you guys moved the ball well. Maybe not as well as last week. Pretty formidable defense on the other side, but you guys did move the ball well. What do you have to do to punch it in the end zone?
Well, we got to get more consistent. We have to be more consistent up front. And look, they're big. They're big, and they make stuff happen. So we have to be all that much better fundamentally.
What was the message to the kids inside the locker room?
It's a 2-quarter football game.
There you go. Okay, guys, listen, a couple other things. Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, guys, listen, a couple other quick things. First of all, one of the band members for Freedom, heat exhaustion. So that's an injury to report, but she should be okay. She was on the sidelines. Also, and Bruce, you should know this name, Stacy Jones, out for the year for Ambridge. We did not realize that. He was going to be one of 3 guys to carry the ball for them. That's why you're seeing the other gentleman from Ambridge. So another injury we did not talk about. So injuries happen, and as Coach said, you have to go to backups, and you have to try to stop them. And as he said, it's a 2-quarter game from both sides. We'll have more reports down here. And, of course, don't forget CCBC players of the game from both squads and the winning coach after the game, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. And speaking of the CCBC player of the game that we'll be announcing coming up at the end of this contest, not only for Ambridge but also for Freedom. Looking at things right now, who do you think the front runners are, Bruce?
I like Dewey over Truman. It's hard to project at the halftime here, but certainly some guys have played well. Chandler's played well for Ambridge. Schulteis has played well for Freedom, and some other guys who have played well. Tonight's officials: the referee is Tom Wasco, the umpire Dave Costa, the head lineman Dan Traficant, the line judge is Ken Buckley, the side judge Mike Polacker, and if I'm saying that properly, and the field judge is Tim Edwards. I'm fairly certain that Wasco and Costa were at our game last week, which was Blackhawk at Beaver Falls. So it's a good officiating crew. They've been around, West Penn officials, and it's been a great game tonight for them.
And we are about to get the second half underway. Freedom kicking from left to right to Ambridge. 2 men deep for Ambridge around their 15-yard line. The official giving them a signal. The leg through the ball and hits at the 25, rolls inside to the 10-yard line, picked up, run up the middle. He has a seam. Oh, my goodness. He's able to get a crease. He has 1 man to beat. Can he beat him? He's up the right-hand sideline. He's at the 20, the 15, almost to the 10, tackled between the 10 and the 12-yard line. What a return on that kickoff, Bruce.
Yeah, I believe that it was Lewis. I believe it was 26 or 28. No, it is 28, listed as a freshman. So that's what we're going to have here. And again, that is Darren Cox, if I'm doing that right, is listed as a freshman. They have him listed at 5'8". This guy looks bigger. That's why I was perplexed. But it is jersey number 28. And only the kicker, give DeLon credit. He's a soccer player. He's not used to using his hands. He comes up with a tackle to save the touchdown, at least for now.
And Ambridge in tight, 1st and 10 at the Freedom 12, far hash mark. Chandler with the ball up the middle over to the right-hand side. Picks up about 7 yards on the play.
But
however, there's a flag.
Yeah, and again, that's been Ambridge's Achilles heel tonight is penalties on first down. They've faced 1st and 15 a number of times, and this is going to be another troubling situation for the Bridgers.
And right now, you look at the offensive line and the struggles that they're having. They're not starting all of their guys that they would normally start. However, the struggles continue. Moore, Coons, Kohler, Prentice, and Namath up on that front. And Coach Z, who is the offensive assistant to Coach McBride, feeling his own frustrations at this point too.
Yeah, but the situation is it is in fact 1st and 15. This is the 3rd time that we've seen that tonight for Ambridge.
Grace in tight, everybody close. Hand off to the deep man. Chandler has the ball over the right-hand side, able to cut up inside, carry a couple of tacklers with him, and able to pick up almost all of the yardage to get back within about a second now and 8, maybe 9 yards. He carried a guy at one point.
Chandler's an interesting case. He's sort of like the Earl Campbell of this situation, not to show my age, but if you don't get him at the point of attack when he gets the football, then it's going to be a struggle. Once he begins to move, he's hard to bring down.
Ambridge in tight, 3 deep. One of the running backs in motion to the right. Chandler gets the handoff up the middle and is able to pick up another good run. Quick little dart to the right, little bit of a side step showing his good foot movement. Able to pick up a few yards.
We should also tell our listeners that Ambridge in this situation, the football is, they got a lineman down.
Yes,
we're going to
do.
have a timeout because Quinn Katz, the coach's son, is down on the field, and he'll be attended to.
And we'll come back with more in a moment. The score is Ambridge 0, Freedom 0, 10:37 left to go in the third quarter. You're listening to the best of Beaver Valley football on Beaver County Radio.
A Beaver County high school football season is here. Players protect that beautiful smile with a visit to your hometown dentist, Dr. Peter Montini and his team at St. Barnabas Dental. While tackling tooth decay is number one in the game plan, Dr. Montini offers a wide array of services, including custom-fitted athletic mouth guards, clear aligner orthodontics, virtually painless injections, and same-day crowns. Call or text 724-495-3350 to schedule your appointment today. St. Barnabas Dental in Beaver, creating beautiful smiles for life.
And we are back, number 53 once again. That is Quinn Catch. He is now just getting up.
Well, yeah, it's
gingerly walking on that ankle.
It's his dad, former Ambridge head coach Neil Catch, who is helping him off, but he is clearly favoring the right leg.
And let's take a moment as he is coming off the sideline now, dealing with that ankle very gingerly, getting some assistance now from a couple of his players. The Fry Transportation Update Desk, couple of scores that just came through.
Yeah, and again, Aliquippa continues to lead Armstrong 24-12. Beaver falls up 8-7 over Beaver. And Union Elwood tied at 21. Hopewell over New Brighton 34-7. And Central Valley remains tied with Avonworth at 14.
Grace with the snap, toss out to the right-hand side, and Freedom just smothering that play.
Is there a
able
fumble,
to get
though? That's
nowhere.
the question.
It doesn't. Is there a fumble? Freedom is acting. Freedom fans are acting as though the ball got loose. And it looks as though, no, it's going to be maintain Ambridge ball. If they did knock the ball loose, and I wasn't able to see that. Let's see if we can see it on instant replay here. Toss out to the right-hand side, and Freedom just absolutely bottling him up.
Yeah.
And it looks as though maybe the ball got loose, still not able to tell from that distant look at it.
Right, but what we want to tell listeners is we do have we have Hepler out there, or I should say Reeves is out there for a field goal attempt.
At this point, Ambridge is saying, listen, we got to get points on the board. And he lines up. He's on the 20-yard line. This is going to be a 30-yard field goal attempt. And it looks as though there's an offside by Freedom. Offside Freedom, frustration for some of the players that realized that people jumped, and now it's a fresh 5.
Right.
And now you get it within 4 and about 6.
It certainly isn't going to make it a first down, that's for sure. But to be honest with you, we have a glorified extra point attempt. An extra point is snapped from the 3. This ball's being snapped from the 9.
And they're lined up. He's calling for it. Snap back, hold, kick, and it's up, and it's good. We have our first score for the night.
We have a flag on the field, though.
Oh,
so
yes, we do.
In this situation, it may be personal foul against Freedom. I mean that because nobody goes down the field. It's not like it's a clip or anything. It just makes you wonder. But again, they're talking to Coach McBride. We'll see how it goes. For now, it's Ambridge 3, Freedom nothing.
And it looks as though the way that McBride was pointing his hand, he wants them to move the ball. It looks as though it's going to get moved in pretty tight. Is this going to be an automatic first down play, though?
There it is.
Personal foul.
Yes, roughing the kicker.
And we were talking earlier about the mistakes that the teams have brought upon themselves, and Freedom being able to hold Ambridge after a great kickoff return and hold them to a field goal attempt now with 2 penalties back-to-back. giving Ambridge a 1st and goal from the Freedom 4. They're on the far hash marks. Everybody's in tight. Grace under center. Chandler deep behind the eye. It's a power eye to the left. He takes the ball over the left-hand side and is able to pick up a few yards. He's down to the 2, 2nd and goal from the 2.
Credit Freedom in particular. We've talked about this guy before, Jake Hilberry, the left defensive tackle for Freedom, one of their quad captains, only a junior. He has been very effective in run support. He made the difference there.
Freedom once again able to get some penetration into the backfield, number 77, Caden Martin, but not able to get the ankles of Chandler. They're now lined up once again. Power eye, another flag is on the play.
Yeah, Chandler
They're
was
waving it dead.
Yeah, Chandler was the ball carrier. He went off the right side. It's a question of when the whistle blew and where the flag flies.
Yeah, the referee on the far line was coming in waving as though he was waving the play dead. And now the referee is looking to talk to Coach Bulldogs about whether or not what he wants to do on this penalty. And I don't see him not taking the 5 yards. I'm not sure what the conversation is.
Well, I don't see a flag on the field, but we'll let the officials sort that out. And now that there is,
the umpire's walking back 5 yards.
Yes.
So now it's 2nd and goal from the 7 for Ambridge. 8:34 left in the 3rd quarter. Score at 0. Gerace under center. Power eye, hand off to the right-hand side, get in the sweep, trying to find the edge, gets to the goal line, hands up, touchdown, Ambridge.
Yeah, highly appropriate that number 8, Gran Uvadic, would come up with an 8-yard run for a touchdown. But that's what took place. And Ambridge is on the board with 6 points.
What a run by Uvadic around the right-hand side, and there was a flag on the play.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Yes, there was, and Ambridge is being marched back once again. The score completely taken away.
It's a hold.
Scoreboard says zeros. We're now looking at a 2nd and goal from the Freedom 17. Ball on the far hash marks. And now Ambridge, once again, in tight, power I formation. Gerace under center. 2 wide receivers off to the left. Chandler by himself in the backfield. A flag flies. Another illegal procedure play by the wing guy.
Right, Lewis shot forward.
Ambridge.
Lewis shot forward from his slot back position a little bit early, and Ambridge will be called for that as well. So it's a frustrating situation. I'm sure the coaches are frustrated, and certainly the players are frustrated. And as we've mentioned earlier, this is going to be a game of attrition. Someone's going to have to prevail.
In my conversation with Coach McBride earlier in the week, and what he was saying to Mike Azadian going in at halftime, it's these mistakes that are made, these mental errors, that it's one thing when they're freshmen and sophomore, but these guys, a lot of them juniors and seniors now, you can't be making these mistakes and win. Gerace under center, takes a snap, rolls over to the left-hand side, looking for somebody deep, and throws it out of bounds. And there comes a flag. Freedom just got hit with a roughing the passer penalty.
It sure appears that way, or there's a potential for, and there it is. It's a flag against Freedom, because the other thing you think of on that play was it intentional grounding, and it seemed like there was a receiver on the far sideline. That's not the call,
right?
So,
but what you're able to see in the instant replay, for those of you who are watching on Facebook, is at the end of the play, the Freedom defenseman, after Gerace throws the ball away, about half a second or so later, pushes him to the ground. The referee is staring at the quarterback. It was an easy call.
Yeah, and it's all part of the give and take of this game. Let's tell our listeners it's first down, but not goal. And there goes Lewis.
Oh, my goodness. Lewis took the ball over the right-hand side, caught the corner, able to hold the seam and get it over the end line for a touchdown. And wait a second, let me look and see. No flags.
No, it goes
No
as,
flags.
it goes as an 11-yard carry, and certainly Ambridge is on the board. And again, it was Lewis veering off off that right side, which Ambridge really likes to protect. They block well to that side. And now the kick unit is on, and I believe it's Prentice who is the long snapper for Ambridge on kicks.
And number 14, Braden Reeves, is set to kick. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's good. And no flag. It's 7-0. Ambridge over Freedom. 8:13 left to go in the third quarter. You're listening to the best of Beaver Valley football on Beaver County Radio.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
7-0. Ambridge, the Bridgers over the Bulldogs. 8:13 left to go in the third quarter. And Coach McBride must have thought it was never going to happen for them to finally get the ball over the goal line for a touchdown between the penalties and everything that was taking place.
Yes.
But finally they did score, and now Ambridge lined up for the kickoff. Braden Reeves ready for the kick. Runs up, right foot through. It goes back deep, end over end, taken at the 14-yard line, up the middle, over to the left-hand side, and then running into two defenders was number 7, Cody Patterson. And now the Freedom Bulldogs are set up 1st and 10 from their own 33 near the far hash mark. Once again, they are going from left to right on this beautifully cool night here in Ambridge. Nice attendance this evening as well, and people making the trip from Freedom this evening too. The home side, they love their football here in Ambridge.
Oh, yeah, no question. But again, a good contingent from Freedom. Again, remember, it's a 2A school. They don't have a ton of people, but a lot are here tonight.
And the snap, and Schulteis over to the right. Interception by Ambridge, able to take it back to the 30, inside the 30.
We've talked about Stevenson all night long and the things that he's done from his outside linebacker position. And that time he just anticipated the toss and came right up and gets a high five and then some from assistant coach Tommy Campbell.
The Freedom Bulldogs really seeming to struggle at this point. They had the opportunity to hold Ambridge, weren't able to do that. Ambridge going up 7-0, and then turning the ball right back over again. Ambridge 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs 29-yard line, near sideline, and Chandler once again the workhorse for Ambridge over the left-hand side, getting it inside the 25, pickup of almost 5.
Obviously, it's a huge situation for Freedom here. We talk about the emotions of football. Ambridge just scored a touchdown. They're feeling great about themselves. Ambridge now comes up with a turnover, so they're feeling even greater about themselves. The game, to me, the game's on the line in this series of downs.
Ambridge up tight once again. One wide receiver over to the left. The up back gets it over the left-hand side. Lewis running, pounding through defenders for Freedom, and Xavier Lewis able to pick up the first down. It's now 1st and 10 at the Freedom Bulldog 15.
We've talked about it before. Troy Jurajewski helping with the tackle along with Jake Hilberry, but this is where Ambridge is almost feels like they're running downhill because they have so much momentum. Freedom's just got to try to find tenacity to make a stop.
Gerace takes the snap, up back. Xavier Lewis once again plowing through the middle Nice gain, about 4 yards, just wearing down the Freedom Bulldog defense.
Yeah, and Freedom's players are getting up a little bit slower here, but again, if you're the Bulldogs, you just have to dig in. Carter Osisi making that tackle, but certainly paying a price for it physically because he's tackling a running back bigger than he is.
Ball near sideline. It's on the 11. Snap. Handoff up the middle. Over to Chandler. Breaks it to the left. Breaks a couple of tackles. Stumbles. Falls. Gets down to the 1. First and goal at the 1 for the Ambridge Bridgers. What a great run and great blocking up front by the big guys for Ambridge.
Yeah, again, we talked about it before the show. Ambridge with probably a larger line than Freedom, and we're seeing that pay off. David Kuntz at 6'3", 305 is the left guard. He is a beast offensively.
Snap. Chandler gets the ball, but great penetration once again by the Freedom Bulldogs, number 7 for Freedom, Cody Patterson, from a safety position. Just shooting the gap on that play.
Yeah, you might as well. If you're offsides and they get penalized, it's half the distance. That's 1.5 yards. So you have to try to make plays. But Patterson certainly coming up with a brilliant move out of the secondary.
Second and goal from the 3. Ambridge up tight, too deep. Xavier Lewis fullback, Chandler running back, man in motion Uvadic. Grace takes the toss over to Chandler, left side, walks into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Bridgers. They're now up 13-0. 5:16 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, Chandler's a big guy. He takes it in, and he never really was met. It was just, again, a question. And the other thing is to really notice, Ambridge, on this drive, since that turnover, I'm fairly sure that almost every play they ran was to the left side.
Braden Reeves set for the extra point. All lined up. Snap, hold, kick, and it's good. 14-0. Bridgers over Bulldogs. 5:16 left to go in the third quarter. You're listening to the best of Beaver Valley football on Beaver County Radio.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
The Bridgers of Ambridge just imposing their will at this point on the offensive line. Their coach, Neil Kent, every one of the... Neil Ketch.
Former head coach here.
And everyone on the offensive line is a returning starter from last year. They're just really showing themselves to be performing well tonight. The kickoff from right to left. Great end-over-end kick. It's returned. Now a reverse, and Cody Patterson has it up the right-hand side, gets out to the 35, met with a bunch of Ambridge Bridgers, and then make it out to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Freedom, a little bit of trickery, trying to come up with something.
Well, they did. They're out to the 40-yard line, which to me is a substantial return, but they just have to be able to build on it. You know, their last drive was one pass and an interception, so they have to protect the football. There's certainly time in the game with 5:06 to play in the third period here at Ambridge. Freedom just has to settle down and move the football.
Schulteis in the pistol position, running back behind him, takes a snap, handoff. Ambridge able to get into the backfield at the time of the handoff. First man misses, but they were able to get back just to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the snap a little bit high. It forced Schulteis to pivot a little bit differently than he might wanted to. And the handoff takes a turn for the worse, and as it turns out, Osisi winds up going off slowly under his own power. Freedom subbing in and out here. You wonder if they might call timeout. They bring Cradle out in an emergency situation now, and they are ready to hike it.
Schulteis with it, wide receiver screen, coming back on the inside, and Ambridge all over that. They read it remarkably well. Pickup of just 1 yard on that play.
Dakota Roberts with the catch on the far side. He went up high for the football, made the catch, but Ambridge anticipating it and comes back with a successful tackle. Although they now have a player down, presumably with leg cramps. This has nothing to do with contact because it's on the entire other side of the field.
Yeah, he just collapsed of his own accord and went to the ground, and now the training staff coming out, Coach McBride looking at him as well, and it looks as though that left leg has gone up in a stretched position in order to deal with the cramp. He's immediately coming up and coming off to the sideline under his own power. That is number 55, Blaze Kohler for Ambridge. He seems to be fine, a little bit of Gatorade, and no doubt he'll be back in this game. So we're 14-0, 3:59 left to go in the third quarter, and the Freedom Bulldogs just absolutely valiant at this point and keeping things close at half. It was tied at zeros, and then Ambridge goes in for their first score after a great kickoff return. A lot of penalties going back and forth until ultimately they were able to get it into the end zone, and then a quick interception by Schulteis, and then they were able to take that in for another score, and now Ambridge up 14-0 over the Bulldogs. Schulteis now taking the snap from center, fakes the handoff, rolls right, looking deep, over the middle. He's got a man wide open. Number 7, Cody Patterson, up the left-hand side. He's dragging a player all the way down to the 15-yard line. What a play by the Bulldogs to draw Ambridge in, and then Cody Patterson wide open for that play.
Yeah, we talked about how Freedom was just throwing slants and other possession passes, not really going down the field, and Ambridge sort of went along with that and stopped it, but then on this pattern, which featured Patterson going down the field straight 20 yards, then breaking on a diagonal to his left, he was incredibly wide open, and Schulteis was able to hit him in stride.
Wonderful play, and now we're looking at the Freedom Bulldogs finding energy to get back in this game. Schulteis takes a snap, rolls right, tries to throw, dodges a guy who almost got sacked, and then finally does go down, loss of 1, but that could have been so much worse. He was in a position where he could have easily lost 5 or 7 yards.
Oh, yeah, no question. We've seen our share of quarterback draws. That was not one. That was a quarterback going back to pass and just having to try to avoid a sack and get something in return.
Now, Freedom, 2nd and 11, 2:42, running clock. They're setting up on the far hash mark. 3 wide receivers wide to the left, 1 to the right. Snap. He's looking for somebody. Schulteis chased down. He's been sacked. What a great defensive play that was made.
Ambridge had guys coming all over, but to my way of thinking, it was Carmen Georgiakis who came up with the sack from his defensive end position wearing jersey 18.
He's with that kind of name, shouldn't he be on the line?
Well,
you'd think he'd be a lineman with a name like that.
Well, it looks like he's a stand-up defensive end / outside linebacker, but he was great in run support.
He sure was. Ty Schulteis in the backfield, taking the snap, fake handoff, rolling right, looking for somebody downfield, and in and out of the hands of Dakota Roberts, right over the middle, close to the original down marker.
It would have been a great diving catch for Dakota Roberts. There wasn't really any contact involved. He dove full bore for it, came up short. I think it's an official timeout, it looks like here.
It is an official timeout, and we'll take a timeout too. The score, 14-0. Bridgers over the Bulldogs. More coming up on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
Sheffield is who it is.
Okay,
so Aliquippa is up to 31.
I tell you what, since you're looking at scores, why don't you give us the Fried Transportation update on the latest scores?
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously here it's 14-0 Ambridge. Aliquippa has moved ahead of Armstrong 31-12. Highlands and Blackhawk appear to be tied at 13 still. Central Valley in Avonworth appear to be tied also, as are Beaver Falls and Beaver at 14. So some tight games in the valley here.
Big play, 4th down. Schulteis, everybody was coming at him on a blitz. He was able to get outside, but was only able to run to the 27, 28-yard line. Not able to move the sticks. Turns the ball over on downs. And let's go check in with Mike Azadian on the sideline. Mike, a lot of players that are dealing with cramps, and what can he tell us?
Well, yeah, that was why there was a stoppage of play. Definitely a cramp there. But let's go back a couple series after the kickoff when Freedom felt that the penalty against them wasn't a penalty. They were so furious with the referees, they felt that he was just pushed out of bounds. The quote from the sidelines was, "This was all on the white hat." And you could kind of see the whole sideline just kind of let down. The next thing you know, interception, 14-0 because the running game from Ambridge is just too strong up the middle.
Good point. Mike Azadian with us on the sideline. Mike, thank you very much. Ambridge just running the ball up the middle, and for no gain, the Freedom.
Well, there's still a flag all the way on the near sideline. I'm not sure if it's a sideline warning or what, but a flag came down on the sideline. We'll see if that amounts to anything. But here.
I am still dealing with a bit of a glare, and I am not seeing any kind of a sideline warning, but apparently whatever it was, it gave Ambridge the play stands, and they were able to pick up what looks to be about 4 yards. It is now 2nd and 6 on a run play up the right-hand side for Ambridge. They are on the far side of the field at the hash mark. They are going from right to left. Snap, handoff to Chandler once again over the left-hand side, and there are like 5-6 Bulldogs just standing him up, and he will not go down.
Yeah, one really has to credit Freedom for all the adversity they've faced with playing hard. I mean, they're hitting hard on every play. They're lining up head-to-head against a team which is a little bit bigger than them. And again, obviously it's way bigger than them in enrollment, and the Bulldogs continue to play hard.
And if you're watching on Facebook, you can see in the instant replay the number of players that it takes to bring down Chandler. He's just running like a machine out there right now. Snap from center, up guy gets it. And great run by Xavier Lewis.
Yeah.
And he gets first down yardage on 3rd down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the guy who they're giving Cox a shot at running back. He's the guy who took that kickoff back 70-some yards to open the second half. He wears jersey 28. I believe that's who was out there. He has Palomalu type hair coming out the back of his helmet. And incredibly enough, they have him listed as a 9th grader.
Okay, it's one of those ones to where the binoculars really come in handy on a game like tonight. Let's see here. Gerace is waiting. The clock is ticking down. We are now at the end of the 3rd quarter. The Bridgers leading the Bulldogs 14-0 from Ambridge. You are listening to the best in Beaver Valley football on Beaver County Radio.
At Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden-Marillaquippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
And we're back. Freedom on a 1st and 10. Oh, I'm sorry, not Freedom. Ambridge on a 1st and 10. I was reading it the wrong way. Hand off to Chandler up the left-hand side, able to pick up what looks to be about 4 yards. It is a 2nd and 6 on the play. Once again, 11:43 in the fourth quarter. And it looks as though just the Bridgers at this point just wearing down the Bulldogs and just pounding them over and over again with their running game. Gerace under center, handoff inside, giving it to the up back. Once again, Darren Cox is getting the call on that. He was once again the guy who had the tremendous kickoff return to get this whole thing started, and now they are rewarding him with some handoffs. You got to wonder, though, is there something wrong with Xavier Lewis, or is it just about giving him some time?
He's standing right in front of us on the sideline. He appears to be fine at the 40-yard line. I just think it's an opportunity for the freshman to get some carries.
And why not give him the opportunity? You're going to need him down the road. Inside handoff once again. The freshman gets it one more time. Darren Cox, and he picks up a couple of more. Looks as though it's very close to first down yardage. The referees are waving the stick guys through, and it is 1st and 10. The Bridgers on their own 46. They're right in the middle of the field, right around the M, if you are familiar with the stadium here. It looks as though it's going to be a run game for the rest of the night, leading 14-0. Gerace under center.
Well,
backfield.
Sometimes that's what they want you to think too. But we'll see how Ambridge plays it. There is no snap here, so we'll see how they sort things out.
Yeah, there is a flag though at the far side around the 38-yard line near the 4. The back judge came in waving things off, and now we're waiting for the call from the referee as he walks toward facing the press box, and there's a dead ball penalty against Freedom. Is that? I'm not quite sure what that call was.
Did you recognize that call? I think it might be an illegal substitution. I believe they sent a man in a little bit late from the far sideline.
So that gives Ambridge a 1st and 5 now in Freedom territory at the 49. 2 running backs in the eye. Handoff to the deep man, and once again. Yeah. Great run over the right-hand side this time, and Cox just continues to get the ball, and they're saying, why not give it to the young man? Let's see what he can do.
Oh, well, it's the same thing. It's more for the defense to think about, but now he comes off the field, and they're back to their original starters, Lewis and Chandler. So it's a pretty formidable array of running backs that Ambridge has here.
They sure do. You want to give them some time, but at the same time, you want to be able to see this one team have a drive that is consistent, solid, and is able to move the ball all the way into the end zone. Chandler with a handoff right up the middle. The offensive line making a way for him, and once again, it's first down yardage. It's now 1st and 10 from the Freedom Bulldog 42.
Yeah, and Chandler gets up and continues back to the huddle. But for Freedom, it's starting to become a bit unnerving. They're down 14-0 here at Ambridge. Ambridge is rolling. They're feeling good about themselves. and it's a difficult situation for the Bulldogs.
It sure is. Freedom now creeping up a little bit. Grace under center, man in motion, hand off to Chandler once again, and number 77 for the Bulldogs continues to impress. Caden Martin, he was not a starter projected for this evening, but on the defensive line, he's playing like he wants to be one.
Yeah, Ambridge with a lineman down. We should say that the younger catch, Quinn Catch, is back in the game, jersey 53, and that time it was Chandler a little bit late getting up. I don't believe it's going to be an injury timeout, but it's just going to take a little time to get these teams. But there is the whistle, so they will resume play.
All right, once again, A.J. Grace running in from the sideline with the play in the huddle. Freedom set up in a two-deep safety right now. They're kind of creeping up a little bit. Two wide receivers out to the left, one to the right. I formation behind Grace. Man in motion, it's Ivodic. He takes the handoff over the right-hand side, picks up about 2 yards on the play. And you got to figure out a way of getting him a ball as often as possible. There are just so many guys that can run the ball and move the ball for you. It's difficult to spread it around fair enough.
The physical play taking a toll on the Bulldogs. Cody Patterson with a valiant stop, but he's coming up a little bit slow. Cooper Young was helping him out. These are the guys from Freedom. Again, they have played like Bulldogs of all things, the Freedom Bulldogs, and they're going to be spending some time in the tub in the next couple days.
Ambridge all in tight, three running backs deep. Pitch back to Cox. He's got it over the right side, able to find a seam and pick up another, what looks to be about 4 yards.
Well, and the other thing about Cox is I believe that Freedom had a player down on the turf, but he's back up. TJ Tatko, but the thing about Cox is he's only played in the second half, the third and fourth periods. So the Freedom players are certainly healing and have been in some vicious contact. But Cox is coming in off the bench; he's fresh as life.
Xavier Lewis is limping a little bit, like he's kind of cramping up a little bit. However, he's the up back. Cox is the deep back. Up back gets it. Lewis has it. Runs hard. Hits a couple of guys. Carries some defenders down a couple of yards and gets it to inside the 30. And now it's 1st and 10. Ambridge just inside the Bulldog 30. They continue to move this ball with will.
Yeah, and a couple ties have been broken in our area. This from the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk. Avonworth leads Central Valley 21-14. Highlands over Blackhawk 20-13 at the moment.
Mike Azadian on the sideline. Mike, is it just a situation where guys are cramping up and it's just not enough fluids in them at this point?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. And I also think that like the case with the cheerleader, it's just some dehydration, and the band member, some dehydration, and as Bruce will tell you, being a track coach, it's a little bit different in practice than game situations, and these things happen, especially early in the year when you get a hot sun early in the game.
Mike, great point. But at this point, Bruce, it's kind of cool outside. You know, I'm feeling the air as we're standing next to the windows. It doesn't seem to be all that intense. Help us better understand how you can have cooler temperatures but still have cramping issues.
Because this is football. I mean, this would happen if it was 40 degrees. This is 4A and 2A football. Quite a bulk of these players are playing both offense and defense. That's why we talk about Cox has the advantage speed-wise, because he just came in off the bench. Football is a violent game, and you're going to get leg cramps because of the few seconds burst that you put out. So it is cooler, but it's still football, and there's going to be cramps.
And Xavier Lewis on that last carry, he was limping a little bit as he was going to the huddle. His number was called, ran well, and then was tackled, and he's dealing with some cramps. He's on the sideline now, just trying to walk it all off and get everything stretched out. So now Chandler is back in. Cox is in the fullback position. Grace under center, hand off to Chandler, and the Bulldogs, once again, what a move. Cody Patterson, it's almost as though he's timing the snap the way he is darting between the center and the guard from his safety position.
He's trying to, but Caden Martin, we've talked about him wearing jersey 77. He's played well. Cradle's played well. Patterson's played well. These guys, you talk about Patterson, I believe, was the young man with the interceptions last week and all the tackles.
Yes.
He has been a great defender for Freedom.
And now Ambridge. It is 2nd and 12 after that loss of 2. Pro set, I formation, one left, one right. Grace under center, takes the handoff, pitch to Chandler over the right side. He's looking for a crease, can't find it, and then gang tackled by the Bulldogs, making it back to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 2, but no more.
Yeah, and again, this Troy Gorajewski wearing jersey 58, he is listed as a 9th grader, which is shocking to me. He has really been dominant. But the other thing is, Ambridge has had the football the entire 4th period. Freedom had only 3:49 time of possession in the 3rd. They've only had 13:37 possession time in the game. That's an incredible discrepancy.
It sure is. Now the handoff, a bumbled snap. It's on the ground. Who has it? Freedom pointing quickly that they may have it. The referees not giving a sign. It looks as though it's going to maintain Ambridge position.
Yeah, Cox Cox dove on the ground. He apparently came up with the football, so it just remains, instead of a turnover, it remains 4th down and long for Ambridge.
Grace took the snap and looked as though he was going to hand it off, and whoever he was wanting to hand it off to, they either were not in the right position or they didn't think they were getting the ball, and next thing you know, you have a fumble exchange.
Yeah, that's correct. The center to quarterback was fine. It was the quarterback to running back that was missing. And so now I think it's going to be Ambridge wants timeout to make a play call here.
All right, and we'll take timeout with them. 14-0 Ambridge over Freedom. 5:13 left to go in the 4th quarter. You're listening to the best of Beaver Valley football on Beaver County Radio.
Are you a believer?
Yes, I am a believer.
I am absolutely a believer.
I am a believer.
I'm a believer.
I'm a Bubba Beaver believer.
I'm a believer. Let's go.
Hurry in for the Labor Day sales event. Get 10% off MSRP on all new in-stock Compass, Cherokee, and Renegade models. Plus, get a new Grand Cherokee 4xe for just $469 a month. And as always, get guaranteed credit approval.
For the best deals and service, you know where to go. Become a believer at Beaver County Auto.
Oh, yeah. All right, Mr. Joe. Keep cool. We'll see you down the street. Joe.
Okay, we are back. Ambridge up. Tight formation. One wide to the left. Fake the handoff up the middle. Handoff to the receiver. Running the right side. Uvadic looking for an edge and just couldn't find it. Freedom doesn't have size, Bruce, but they do have speed. Every time it seemed as though Ambridge has wanted to get to the outside, the Freedom Bulldog defense, those corners, the safeties, and the outside linebackers are able to keep them from being able to get to that edge.
No question. They're tough kids. But the net result is that Ambridge had the football for 6:54 to open this 4th quarter. This is the first time Freedom's had the ball since 1:41 remained in the 3rd period.
Stopped them on a 4th down, and now Freedom. Schulteis is in the shotgun. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. And we're going to see a quick little out pattern to the running back that was set up on the left-hand side. Cooper Young, actually, in the slot, was able to catch that pass.
To be honest with you, it was Osisi wearing jersey number 6.
Oh, that was 6.
He flared out in the backfield. Yeah, he flared out of the backfield. It made a good move. He made a guy miss. This is the first 2nd and short that Freedom's had in a long time. I mean, he's really done well with that.
Schulteis waiting for the snap, gets it. Rolls to the left a little bit, looking for somebody, trying to get away, and he's not going to. He gets sacked for a loss all the way back to the original line of scrimmage at the 35. Ambridge just able to get through that Freedom line and then just chase him down. He was running to his weak side when it comes to scrambling.
It all starts with Marley Moore at nose tackle. He disrupts the whole situation. And then coming in was Kohler. We've talked about Blaze Kohler as the center, but he's playing well on defense also.
Schulteis, 4 wide, fades back to pass, over the middle, and not able to connect with Dakota Roberts, who was open, but just not able to make it happen. We're now down to a 4th down play, 4th and 9 from their own, what looks to be the 35-yard line.
Yeah,
and
well,
they're on the near side hash mark, and you got to wonder at this point, there's a part of you that wants to go for it because you're going to do something to stay in this game, and then another part of you that realizes that considering how Ambridge has been able to control the clock, maybe the best thing to do is just pooch punt this away.
Well, they also, this is why you go to coaching clinics. Everybody's got to come up with a play they use in these situations. Freedom calls timeout because they want to think it over and try one of theirs.
And while they're thinking it over, we'll take a timeout. 14-0 Ambridge over Freedom on Beaver County Radio.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
And how Mike get the play. 3:51 to go in the 4th quarter. Freedom in a 4th and what looks to be 9, maybe 10. 4 wide, 3 right, 1 left. Schulteis back to pass, throws deep, looking for a man. Does he have him? He does! Oh my goodness, what a catch! Cody Patterson ran just right underneath that. It was an absolutely beautifully thrown ball. Cody Patterson was behind a defensive back and then was able to catch a burst of speed and get beyond him, run right underneath that catch.
This is what we talked about. You go to these coaches' clinics and figure out plays that you can utilize in this situation, but Patterson really made it. He did what is called look the ball into his hands. He did a great job of that.
He did a wonderful job of that, absolutely. Schulteis now, 4 wide, back to pass, draw, and Ambridge is not going to have anything to do with that. They were able to collapse down on him and cause a sack of about 1, maybe 2 yards. They're now back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, as I believe it's going to be another injury timeout as another Freedom Bulldog is on the turf.
And that looks to be number 21. Schulteis is down, and he's not in a position right now where he is dealing with the cramp. He is being looked at by the trainer. And I tell you what, we'll pause here. We'll come back, give them a chance to work on him. It is 14-0, 3:13 left to go in the 4th quarter. The Bridgers over the Bulldogs on Beaver County Radio.
Does someone you know struggle to read? If so, there's tuition-free local help available. The Provident Charter School West at the former Quigley High School in Baden is helping students in grades 1st through 4th. Provident Charter School West teaches students with dyslexia so they can go back to their hometown schools and learn alongside their friends. Provident Charter School West is a tuition-free brick-and-mortar school for children in grades 1st through 4th who are below grade level in reading. For more information, go to providentcharterschool.org.
Isaiah Leisha in at quarterback for Schulteis. Schulteis taking his protective gear off around his midsection. May have had the wind knocked out of him. So Leisha in the shotgun, waiting for the snap, gets it, fakes handoff, pass out to the flat to Cody Patterson. Patterson gets it and strolls into the end zone on a wide receiver screen to pick up the touchdown. No flags. It's 14-6.
No, I give the young man, the new passer, I give him all the Leisha, Leasha, a junior. I give him all the credit in the world with delivering a left-handed toss, perfect timing, no penalties. It's not easy to come off the bench and do that. He will now hold on the extra point attempt.
And number 22 with the kick. Number 22, Jordan DeLon with the kick. It's up and it's good. And now it's 14-7. 2:59 to go in the fourth quarter. Could we see an onside kick? We'll find out in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click BF Water.
.259 left to go in the game, and the Freedom Bulldogs are setting up for the kick.
Well, yeah.
And Ambridge. The Freedom Bulldogs were setting up for the kick, going the wrong direction. They've been going from right to left for the fourth quarter.
Remember, Dolan's a soccer player. He's doing the best he can. He's now set up at the 40-yard line. Ambridge is going to have pretty much they do have one man back, but they have 6 people at the 50 and then 4 behind them at the 40.
Yeah, many of them are Hands team. It's like the Hands team is up front except for Uvidich, who is back deep at the 20. The kicker just a couple of yards away, squibs it. And oh my goodness, it was touched by an Ambridge player. Freedom saying they have it.
I
it
think
looks as though they do.
Yeah, they because it hit off a Freedom up, it hit off an Ambridge up player. Specifically, they had a lineman in there, and they had a lineman. It hit off of his hands, and Freedom clearly has the football.
They do. What an amazing play. It was, though, of all the people he could have kicked it at, the one guy to kick it to was one of the big linemen. And that's what he did, and the lineman tried.
Well, yeah,
he did a valiant effort in trying to be able to corral that ball.
Specifically, it was Kolar wearing jersey 55.
Just couldn't bring it in, and then the Bulldogs fall on it, and now they have it. 1st and 10 from the Ambridge 45. And Schulteis is back in, throws it out.
Oh, it's dropped.
And it was dropped. Number 3, Austin Anderson, in and out of his hands. But it's so good to see Schulteis is back in the game. Just apparently had the wind knocked out of him, and he's back in and he's playing. I got to tell you, though, considering what Isaiah Alicia did on 2 throws, a touchdown pass, and then that big pass play that brought about the penalty, he really came in and performed well in his fill-in position.
He's back in there now, so it'll be the left-hander. Schulteis standing on the sideline.
Alicia back to pass, over to the left, and it was batted down by the big lineman coming through, Blaze Kohler, just batting it out of the air, putting his big mitt on it.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He had his hands right there. And again, that's all. Ambridge realizes there's only 2:46 to play in regulation, so they're firing off the line, and they realize that they're basically blitzing. I wouldn't say blitzing, but they're applying a lot of pressure, realizing that Freedom is pretty much going to pass all the time. Schulteis still on the sideline.
Alicia is in the pistol position. 1 man in the backfield behind him. 4 wide receivers. Fake handoff. Roll to the left. Throwing deep over the center. And incomplete.
Patterson
he was
slipped.
looking for Cody Patterson, and he did. A little bit behind him, and it looked as though Cody just wasn't able to keep his feet on that play.
And Patterson is still a little gimpy as he walks to the sideline. I'm not sure that he's 100% right now. He was open, and when he went to reach behind himself for the football, that's when it fell to the turf. Now Freedom still does have 2 timeouts left, but on this 4th down play, they've got to get 10 because of the incompletions.
4th and 10, far hash mark. They're on the 45. Alicia is in the shotgun. Man to his left, 3 to the right. Leading back to pass. Pressure's coming. Throws it over the
there's
middle.
A foul.
Is there a foul? Yes, there is.
Yeah.
2 flags coming in from both back judges. They saw interference on that, and it is going to be a 1st and 10 as a result of that penalty.
Yeah, Austin Anderson was the intended wide receiver, and to be honest with you, I just don't see how that pass would have been caught. It's unfortunate that Ambridge committed the foul because it just seemed like that would be a difficult play to make. However, Freedom has come up with 2 amazing 4th down conversions in this period. Let's tell our listeners, if anybody who just joined us, it was scoreless at the half. Ambridge went up 14-0, but Freedom is playing hard.
Alicia with the snap, shotgun, going over the middle, has a man. Does he make the catch? Does he make the catch? And the referees say no. That was so close. Diving for the ball was Dakota Roberts, and was able to control it, but not before it touched the ground.
And I believe Ambridge calls timeout here with 2:26 to play in the 4th.
And we will call timeout as well. 14-7. Ambridge over Freedom. The Bridgers, Bulldogs on Beaver County Radio.
Now that the sights and sounds of summer are fading in your rearview mirror, there's still time to enjoy your classic car and turn heads this fall. Restore your cherished ride to its former glory and call Ganew's Body Works in Freedom. Gary Snare has been offering collision and restoration services for over 20 years. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod or street custom to full custom color paint, Ganew's also handles collision and general repairs. Say hello to cooler weather with the hottest car around. Call Ganew's Body Works, 408th Street in Freedom.
It is 2nd and 10. The Freedom Bulldogs doing their best to stay alive in this game. They're trailing by 7. 2:26 to go in the 4th quarter. The ball on the far hash mark. Their starting quarterback, Ty Schulteis, is out of the game. Their backup quarterback, who's played remarkably, is in, rolling to the left, completes the pass to Dakota Roberts. He catches it over the middle and gets 1st down yardage. What a catch and run by Dakota Roberts.
Dakota Roberts is in the red zone. He made people miss, and again, we've talked about it before. You have to be impressed with Freedom's overall effort here in this football game. They have played valiantly against bigger people, more people, but they continue to hang in there. They've lost players to injury. They keep coming back. I'm really impressed with the position, I should say with the play of Isaiah Alicia, the left-handed. He's wearing jersey 2 for the simple fact that he's the number 2 quarterback, but he's playing like a number 1 right now.
Alicia shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Quarterback draw up the middle. And nowhere to go.
Yeah, Prentice figured that out. You know, again, Prentice is a tough guy to block. He's got experience. He's played a long time, and he's able to fend off the block. From the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk, we find out that Central Valley cuts the lead to 21-20 against Avonworth, goes for 2 with 3 minutes left, and doesn't get it. So with 3 minutes remaining, the Antelopes lead the Warriors 21-20.
Alicia shotgun, man to the left, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He's scrambling, looking for some place to go. He's sacked in the backfield, number 18. Carmen
Freedom's going to have to call timeout here. Yeah, again, this Gorjewski is listed as a freshman, which is difficult for me to believe, but that's how he's listed in the program. He has certainly played like more than that.
He is playing like an upperclassman right now. That is absolutely for sure. 59 seconds left to go in this game. It's Ambridge 14, Freedom 7. Can Freedom convert a 3rd and long and keep this alive? We'll find out next on Beaver County Radio.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
Alicia takes the ball, snap, looking to the right, looking to the left, throws it out to number 5, gets the completion, but very little yardage on the play. Cooper Young gets the reception, but there was nowhere to go. The Ambridge defense just swarming on
the problem is he
Alicia.
didn't get out of bounds. And now Freedom's got to call another timeout.
Great point. And Freedom now with no timeouts remaining. Ambridge has won, but they're not going to need it. 42 seconds left, and the Bridgers are winning 14-7. It is 4th and forever. It looks to be, 4th and 17 at this point. Considering what they've been able to accomplish on long 4th downs before, this is a very comfortable position, I would think, for the Bulldogs to be in today's game, Bruce.
Well, yeah, they certainly don't want to be here, but they've responded brilliantly to it the last time they have been. You got to wonder how many miracles that the Bulldogs have in them.
Considering that Ty Schulteis, their starting quarterback, senior captain, got knocked out. Tyler Welsh, their senior captain running back, was knocked out as well. The Bulldogs, a two-way school, staying right in this 4th and long. Ambridge bringing everybody, and there's a sack. Number 18, Carmen George. I'm just going to go George. I'm not even going to try to do the rest of it.
I thought it was Georgiakis, but we'll do our best. But he's played a good game for Ambridge tonight also.
He has. On defense, he has been remarkable, controlling everything wherever they've wanted him to be. Blitz packages.
Ambridge only has to hike it twice, and Freedom can't stop the clock.
38 seconds left to go. Do they have to snap it more than once?
Yes.
With 38 seconds?
Well, yeah, that's true. It's 38. But in any event, it's reasonable to say that Ambridge is going to win the football game.
Gurace is in victory formation, takes a snap, takes the knee. The Freedom Bulldogs running off the field. Ambridge. It's one of those ones to where, are you excited about the win, or are you just like breathing a sigh of relief at this point that you were able to get the victory?
I'd say a sigh of relief because they know how hard the Bulldogs played. So the teams are going to go shake hands. They played very well, and we'll go about the beginning of our post-game show.
And the post-game show is about to commence. The post-game show, the Electric Garage Door post-game show, is coming up. After the post-game show, we will have the Falcone Moon Township Ford wrap-up show in the Electric Garage Door post-game show. We will talk to Coach McBride, the winning coach of the Ambridge Bridgers. We will also talk to the CCBC players of the game that we need to announce, both for Ambridge and for Freedom. And I got to tell you, on the Freedom side, it's awfully difficult to not go with Cody Patterson as far as I'm concerned on this one. And Bruce, it looks as though you were the same thing as well. Cody Patterson for the Freedom Bulldogs. He played as well as you can expect somebody to play on both sides of the ball tonight.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. So, but again, we don't want to tip our hand. We'll make that formal announcement coming up in a matter of moments here on Beaver County Radio.
And we are about to go down to the sideline. Mike Azadian is looking to track down Coach McBride, and he is also going to do his best to get the CCBC players of the game. I tell you what, how about if we take a little bit of a pause here, and we'll come back, give Mike an opportunity to track somebody down, and we'll get those interviews started here on Beaver County Radio.
Are you a believer?
Yes, I am a believer.
I am absolutely a believer.
I am a believer.
I'm a believer.
I'm a Bubba Beaver believer.
I'm a believer. Let's go.
Hurry in for the Labor Day sales event. Get 10% off MSRP on all new in-stock Compass, Cherokee, and Renegade models. Plus, get a new Grand Cherokee 4xe for just $469 a month. And as always, get guaranteed credit approval.
For the best deals in service, you know where to go. Become a believer at Beaver County Auto.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
At Pittsburgh Bay's Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com. In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
At MRS Physical Therapy, they understand that you expect to receive treatment that will help you move better, feel better, and recover faster and more completely from an injury or operation. But did you know that you can make an appointment to come see MRS Physical Therapy without a doctor's referral? And they can offer same-day appointments. You can come see them whenever you want and come back as many times as you wish for 30 days. There's no need to wait until you see a primary care physician. Get treatment when you need it most at MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
The local McDonald's restaurants are proud to be partners with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring Beaver County high school football games all season long. Stop in to any of the local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burritos, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Text McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
For all your home appliance and furnishings, shop AK Nahas on Labor Day. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., get big savings throughout our showroom. Sleep better on a dual-sided queen mattress and firmer plush for only $650. Get an 18 cubic foot refrigerator for $629. Conquer pet hair like a pro with Maytag Pet Pro washer or dryer, removing 5 times more pet hair, just $7.99 each. Take an extra 15% off all furniture. No one sells less on Labor Day. Open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. AK Nahas Appliance, Furniture, Mattress, and TV. You'll do okay with AK.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
You're listening to 2023 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Drug-Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and beavercountyradio.com.
We are back with the Electric Garage Doors postgame show, and with us on the field, Mike Azadian with the winning coach, Sherman McBride.
Coach, looks like you have another guest. Every time I turn around, we got another guest.
Say hi. Tell them your name.
Riley.
It's Riley. Boy, Coach, every time I turn around, you got kids. Kids just gravitate towards you. Granddad.
Hey, that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing.
Well, 0-0 at the half. You didn't seem real happy at the half. What was said at halftime? Because the kids came out motivated. That kickoff return back, and eventually, after some penalties and some problems, you punched it in.
That was big. That kickoff return was big. Only thing we talked about at halftime was finishing these drives. We're going up and down the field, and we're not getting any points, so we had to finish, and we did these last few times that we had the ball.
Everybody knows about the line play, but let's talk about it. Cox, Lewis, Chandler, Uvidich, and you even have Stacy Jones hurt from last year. You've got so many running guys to go with. It's hard for one team to stop that many guys.
Well, that's what it's all about. You got a big running back like Carlito, and he's going downhill most of the time and everything. And then you bring in a guy like Lewis and Cox, and, that wears teams down.
What's one thing you want to see your team improve on for next week?
Finishing drives. We have to finish drives. I mean, this game could have been 28, 35, nothing, either way. But we have to finish.
What's one thing you're really proud of your team about?
That they found a way to win. They found a way to win the close games.
All right, we're going to talk to your player of the game next. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All
the
right.
CCBC player of the game.
We're going to have two of them. We're going to talk to one first from Ambridge, then from Freedom. Let's talk to Carlito Chandler. Carlito, CCBC player of the game. Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
So I talked to Coach. And the running back room was full of guys, and you even got a young man, Cox, who came in there and did well. But you guys run really hard. You're all big guys. But the big thing is you had a big line. It's kind of easy when you got some holes to run through.
Yes, sir. I love my line. I thank them every time I get a good run, at least 15 yards run every time.
So talk to us about this. Halftime 0-0. They played tough, fought you tooth and nail. A lot of mistakes on both sides. But what do the coaches talk to you guys about overcoming your mistakes?
The most thing we talked about in the locker room was just driving down their throat, every play, just stopping them. On defense, going 100%, offense 100%, doing everything we can to get this big win today.
Long way ahead, a lot to go, a lot more season to go. What do you think the key for this team is to be successful?
No more losing. Just keep going up, keep progressing from here on out.
All right, we'll let you go. Congratulations. All right, from Freedom, Cody Patterson. Cody, tough loss, I know, and it stinks to lose, but you guys got to hold your head up because down 14-0, you guys fought and came back and challenged at the end.
Yeah, I mean, Coach been preaching effort all summer long, and I'm proud of our guys, man. We didn't stop fighting until the end. We came out 14-7, got an onside kick. We drive down. It's just they played better on the defensive side. Yeah, it seemed like the defense kind of got to you guys. You had some injuries too. When your quarterback goes down, it hurts when Tyler goes down. But next man steps up, and that's got to be what it is. But yourself, for you had a couple of really big plays and the touchdown. Had to feel good to help your team get back in the game. Yeah, I mean, I told these guys I'd do everything for them. And, I told them, you guys do your thing, and I'll be open. And we drove down the field. I'm proud of all of them. They held their block and everything. I'm proud.
Okay, 1-1. It's a loss, but a loss is a loss. What are you going to tell your team? What's it going to be like in practice as a senior with the younger kids coming up this week?
At the end of the game here, Coach said, the plane keeps going up. A little bit of turbulence here and there, but we're going to get better. There's a couple mistakes that we're going to clean up, and we're going to climb from here, no doubt.
All right, CCBC Player of the Game, Cody Patterson. Good luck, Cody.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to have one last special guest here, Coach Balog. Coach, tough loss for you guys. I know you're not happy, but at the same time, positive messages, a lot of positives, especially late in the game. You guys came back down 14-0. It felt like down 14-0. The air kind of came out of the sails on the sidelines, but you guys just came right back here. You fought the whole way and challenged at the end.
Mike, you're right. We thought the air was out of the balloon. We make a big play on 4th down right over here. We come back with a big strike down the field. Then we throw a screen pass for a touchdown. We get in the end zone, and then we get the onside kick, right? And here we go. I cannot say I am so proud of our boys and the way that they fought tonight and the way that they kept they just would not quit, Mike. They just would not quit. They would not quit. They would not quit. And it was just a fantastic effort.
You guys have a big line, but they have a really big line. I mean, we're talking 2A school against a 4A school. Your neighboring school districts. But, when you get in the third and fourth quarter, toward the end of the game, it just seemed like that started to really go towards their advantage. They know you're going to pass. They're coming at you guys, and it's just really hard to stop that many good guys.
Well, it is, Mike, because they are big up front and they're talented. But then on top of that, the running backs are very big too. And so when that's all coming at you, that is a massive humanity that's coming right at you.
Let's talk about your guys, Ty Welsh and Ty Schulteis. Ty left the game late. How is he right now?
Well, I think he's going to be okay. His arm, he banged his arm up a little bit, but we think he's going to be okay. We put Zay Lisha in the game, who stepped up and did an unbelievable job for us, and so he got into a rhythm, and that's why we kept him in.
Well, Tyler Welsh, I know he had a hamstring injury. He was out of uniform. That's going to be pretty much day-to-day, week-to-week.
It is, and we'll just have to go with what our trainer and the medical group says.
Coach, we're looking forward to seeing you guys play again.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Yep. All right, guys. You heard it from both coaches. We got both coaches and both CCBC players of the game. And a challenge to get everybody, but we got everybody cooperative. But a very good ball game. And you heard the coach. He's very proud of his kids, and that was his message. And you heard it from Cody Patterson. They're the kind of kids that aren't going to give up. So Freedom with good things ahead. Ambridge, hopefully for them, with good things ahead as well.
Mike Azadian, great call on the sideline today. Great interviews at halftime, analysis at the beginning of the game, and all those interviews at the end. Absolutely fantastic job on the sideline this evening. We'll come back and wrap things up from Ambridge once again. 14-7, the Bridgers over the Bulldogs on Beaver County Radio.
Choose your path at Community College of Beaver County and start learning for real life at a realistic cost. CCBC's 2-year degree programs get you trained and earning a salary in less time and with less debt. Programs in aviation, nursing, education, process technology, criminal justice, and more will prepare you for a real future. You belong here. Apply now or learn more at ccbc.edu.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
Are you a believer?
Yes, I am a believer.
I am absolutely a believer.
I am a believer.
I'm a believer.
I'm a Bubba Beaver believer.
I'm a believer. Let's go.
Hurry in for the Labor Day sales event. Get 10% off MSRP on all new in-stock Compass, Cherokee, and Renegade models. Plus, get a new Grand Cherokee 4xe for just $469 a month. And as always, get guaranteed credit approval.
For the best deals and service, you know where to go. Become a believer at Beaver County Auto.
We are back with the Electric Garage Doors postgame show. I'm Robert Mangino, and you just listened to Ambridge squeak out a victory against Freedom. The Bridgers and the Bulldogs were tied at 0 going into halftime, and then coming out of half, the Bridgers took the opening kickoff and then returned it all the way into the red zone for the Freedom Bulldogs. And after a series of penalties going against the Bulldogs, going against the Bridgers, finally our CCBC player of the game for Ambridge, Carlito Chandler, was able to knock it in and put the Bridgers up 7-0. Then there was a quick interception by the Bridgers against Ty Schulteis in the very next series, very next play, the very first play from scrimmage. And then Ambridge able to go ahead and knock that one in as well. Big touchdown run, and then go up 14-0. And then there was this belief that maybe Ambridge would just roll to a victory. But the Freedom Bulldogs, they are a tough bunch. Even though they're a 2A school playing a 4A school, they play with the heart of a 5A school tonight. And they were able to play it back into a 14-7 game, and they had it in Ambridge territory after a big completion from Schulteis to Cody Patterson, the other CCBC player of the game for Freedom, and able to get it into position to be able to score. But Schulteis was knocked out of the game. He was knocked out a couple of times, and the backup quarterback, Isaiah Alicia, had to step in and did so in a remarkable performance for somebody able to step up. And the receivers did a great job, too, considering that Ty Schulteis is a right-handed quarterback. Alicia is a left-handed quarterback, and they just performed as though it wasn't a big deal at all. So oftentimes a ball coming from a left-hander spins differently, and it's more difficult. But Ty Schulteis knocked out of the game. Isaiah Alicia doing his best to be able to drive them. They were also dealing with Tyler Welsh, who was knocked out early in the game in the first half. So not having two seniors, two captains, and one of the Beaver County Times Players of the Year to watch at the top 30. He was ranked at number 25. Ultimately, Freedom not able to pull it out and falls to the Bridgers 14-7. The Freedom Bulldogs will next play Beaver. It is their final non-conference game. They will be at home next Friday night. And then Ambridge is playing their final non-conference game. They are at Neshannock on Friday. The Bridgers will start their conference play against Blackhawk. We heard them in week 0 as they took on Beaver Falls. And then once Freedom gets into their conference matchup, they will take on Elwood City. Our next game coming up next Friday is a great matchup between the New Brighton Lions and the Rochester Rams. The Rochester Rams, no stranger to postseason play and appearances. and the Whitfield final games down at Hines, down at Acrisure, and the New Brighton Lions looking to make a statement with what they can do on Friday nights. We will have that game for you. You can watch it live on Facebook. Just look up Beaver County Radio. You can also listen to it live on 99.3 FM and 1230 AM WBVP, 95.7 FM and 1460 AM WMBA. I also want to give a special shout out to Bruce Fry, who's been the remarkable color guy. Long before I even got here, just watching him and work his magic every single Friday has been great over the past couple of weeks. Also want to thank Mike Azadian. Absolutely fantastic work on the sidelines. Keith Walsh covering the camera for us. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, Daniel Gamble helping in production capabilities as well. Back at the studios is Ryan Garazunas, and with us here, could not do it without him, Curtis Welsh, making sure everything happens and gets on the air, whether it's on Facebook or on the radio. Just amazing performance by Curtis, too. All right, tomorrow, big game on Friday. Saturday. Mike, why don't you grab the microphone real quick? Just as a quick tease for the game coming up on Saturday afternoon game, the Wildcats at Shenango are taking on the Golden Beavers of Western Beaver. Western Beaver fell to Beaver last week 35-14 right here on Beaver County Radio. Who's going to get their first win of the season? Who will fall to 0-2? This is a big game tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, you know what? Western Beaver started out strong, but too many penalties, and they were playing a team up in classification, much like this was. Brand new quarterback for Western Beaver. Shenango, boy, they had a tough time last week, but they played Olsh, which is a really, really good team. So we're going to find out, is Shenango a team that's going to struggle all year? Can Western rebound? Much like other games at this point in the year, who's going to get their first win? Who's going to come off the schneid? You don't want to start 0-2.
No.
Because the 0-2, then things start going down. And but Western has a lot of talent, and they have a lot of talent at the wide receiver core. So I got a good feeling about Western Beaver tomorrow. Should be a good game.
Pre-game at noon, kickoff at 12:30 right here on Beaver County Radio. Once again, I'm Robert Mangino. Thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to you next Friday on Beaver County Radio.
Thank you for listening to coverage of 2023 high school football here on Beaver County Radio. Coverage of tonight's broadcast was brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbutt Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, AK Nahas Furniture Gallery, Tri-County McDonald's, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. And don't forget to check out all the scores and information from this week's game and all games at beavercountyradio.com and on our Facebook page at WBVP-WMBA.